And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another qualifier here for EPT Spring, for ESL Masters Spring 2024, the Asia Open Qualifier number 2. I'm, of course, your Slight VIP, and with me, I'm joined by a lovely duckling slash cat that I've not been joined by for a very long time. It's been years, Papi. Welcome, AsherBro.
What's up? What's up? I had to join for the Asia region, of course.
Of course, for our boys, Papi, for our boys. It's great to see you again, Asher. Great to see you. It's been so long. It's been, you know, I feel like you've lived your life. You know, you've gotten married, you've had kids. You know, you retired, and then we're back. We're back where it all began.
Yeah, and then my wife died in a tragic accident, and I got all the money.
Oh my god, let's go.
Yeah.
And now you're back to casting
Crazy.
StarCraft.
Yeah, now I'm back to StarCraft. I'm like, I got all the money. I got everything that I ever wanted, and there was one thing that was missing.
Let's go. It's time to burn it all away in StarCraft somehow.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I'm like, I haven't been sad in a while. I need StarCraft in my life again.
Oh god. But it's good to have you back. Actually, good to have you back. I'm curious because actually it's a couple of weeks old, maybe like one and a half, 2 weeks old now. We're on a new patch. Have you been experiencing much of the new patch or seeing much of it?
No. I don't know anything. I thought this would be fun as well to like come at it with fresh eyes. The only thing that I really know is the cyclones are back to they're kind of like tuned back down to the rest of where the Terran units are, where it's like expensive and not very good, but you have to make it anyway. So it's like in line with all the rest of the Terran units now.
Yeah, it's a shame that like I'm bringing you on to cast, and you know, I don't know if you remember this. It was a brief stint where we had the new Cyclone, only a couple of months, but like that was like your expertise, you know, casting the Cyclone Wars, like that.
Yeah.
That was your forte.
Yeah, I got a sound clip on Colossal Gulp stream, which is like everything that I ever wanted out of StarCraft. Like that's why I stopped casting.
Oh,
I can't really top that.
You peaked already. True.
I did. I've achieved everything I wanted.
Yeah, the Cyclone has been changed. You know, Widowmine drops have been adjusted and nerfed as well. There has been a couple of changes here or there. Some matchups impacted more than others. I think maybe even more so than the patch itself. We have a new map pool, and the new maps they're pretty crazy.
Yeah, the new maps are really weird. I've heard not the best things about them, but the few games that I have seen, I've seen strategies that I haven't seen before, so I think it's interesting, and especially coming into like a bit more of a creative region like Asia, when we've got the likes of Mia, players like that. I know Mia's not playing today, but
yeah.
I think this is a region that's gonna be a bit more likely to do some weird stuff.
Yeah, I would hope so. I feel like there's a lot of potential for creativity, and again, we're still like in the early stages of the new patch. A lot of people are still experimenting, exploring the new maps as well. But yeah, as you said, like I think the biggest criticism I think for the new map pool is that like all the new maps are weird, and there's like no new standard maps, right? So like they all have like these weird quirks, and they all allow for these like I guess interesting or like different play styles, but like, you know, obviously the pro players don't enjoy that. they want their standard maps, you know, they want their standard like 3-4 base setup, you know, with like high ground and all this stuff, and that's just not there. That's smooch.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if I played on this map pool, I would, after every game, want to veto that map, and eventually I'd just run out of maps, and I'd press ranked to queue up, and it just wouldn't do anything because I'd have every single map vetoed.
Oh, now you know how I feel the last couple of seasons. Smooch. But I can feel that as well. I actually haven't laddered on the new map pool yet. I haven't had the time to.
Yeah,
I want to, but
yeah, you haven't played since you came back from Europe, right? I didn't really catch too many of your streams, but I did see occasionally I'd like wake up at 5 a.m. and see that you're streaming and just go back to bed. But did you get too far on the EU ladder?
No, I had so little time. Like whenever I laddered on EU, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna ladder, and I just ladder like once every 2 weeks, you know. And I was just always rusty, you know. Like I was just never able to get into the rhythm over in EU, which is a shame. Like I would have liked to have laddered a little bit more. But something that the stream knows is that ever since returning from Europe, guess what happened?
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm sure you can.
You got jet lagged for like 2 weeks?
No, what happens whenever I go outside?
You. I was going. I'm not used to censoring myself for stream. You got COVID.
Yeah. There you go. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So I got back, and like after like
Yeah.
1 or 2 days, like bam, like it hit me, and it's been like 2 weeks, and I've still been sick. So I've still been recovering. So.
Yeah. Everything that I've heard is like, you basically just can't travel that far these days without getting COVID. It's just kind of assumed. It's like you get on a plane, and it's like you're sick for the next week.
Yeah.
It's just that.
Yeah. You know, it's just don't go outside. Just don't do it. It's just not worth it.
True. I mean, at least you didn't get sick on the way.
True.
It's probably better to get sick on the way back.
True. You're not wrong. You know, I could have gotten sick both ways. That would have been the worst. Yeah. Because I've still been recovering. Because that, basically, whenever I've been casting this past like 2 weeks, like I'm like non-stop like muting to cough and stuff, and I could not do that laddering, so I just haven't been laddering for the past couple weeks.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
I'm getting better though.
Wow. Shout out to Ryan in the chat, throwing shade while not playing in the qualifiers. It's interesting tactic there.
True. Yo, I called Ryan out yesterday. I was like, Buffy, what's going on? You know, like why aren't you on the bracket? And Ryan's like, oh, you know, I'm retired, right? Like I'm past my prime.
He's been
it's like,
no. This is fake news. He's been playing.
Yeah.
He's been grinding.
True.
He's been playing like 20 games a day.
He's like 6K.
I don't know about that, but I don't know if it's passion, but there's something there. Something's a little wrong. Sometimes I just see people playing ladder games, and I ask them if they're okay, and they say yes, but like, you don't see the light behind the eyes. You know what I mean?
Do you remember? It was a couple of months ago, before I went to Poland, when you took a really long break, you started playing again. I did the same thing to you. Do you remember? I was like, mate, are you okay? I was like, I suddenly saw you playing again. I was legit concerned. I was like, oh, did something happen?
Yeah.
Like...
No, the answer's no. The answer's always no. But I don't want to hear that while I'm playing.
True.
But every now and then, you just have to remind yourself that it's exactly what you remember. It doesn't change.
Yeah,
it really doesn't.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, you know, you can't experience the good without the bad, right? You know, every now and then you have to like suffer a little bit, you know, to be happy, right? Like otherwise you just don't know how good you have it, you know, if you don't have StarCraft. So yeah.
It's like the Sisyphus and the boulder, except instead of a boulder, it's just like a ball of crumpled up paper, and you're just throwing it, and then it rolls back down the hill, and then you're throwing it again. And like Sisyphus is next to you, and he's like jacked because he's been like rolling the boulder, so he's like really strong and jacked, and like he's just happy because he's been working hard. And then you've just been throwing a paper ball.
I like it because you're insinuating, like, you know, you're going through all this like suffering and through all this pain and like trials and tribulations, but you're not gaining anything from it. You're not. Oh, I see.
And Sisyphus is next to you, and he's like,
Uh-huh.
He's got all the girls as well. He's got your girls. That's what's happening here.
There you go.
Or your boys. You know.
True. He's got Ryan.
True. I don't know about that.
But it looks like we have our first series here. Looks like we have our first matchup. We actually didn't quite get to go. We were catching up, but the bracket is live. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves. It is top 4. Top 4 will make it through. They will qualify for the closed qualifier. So plenty of spots are available here, and it's great to see a lot of returning players coming back here to the qualifier.
Yeah. Cool to see Oreo today as well. I know he wasn't playing yesterday.
Yeah, do you know why?
I hope he was at the club.
No, that's what.
Actually?
Unironically, he was out there
Where's my
touching
info?
grass, and he was a little bit inebriated.
True, that's my boy.
But it's great to see, as you mentioned, Oreo, he's back. But I have to, Funada some people as well. Not just Ryan and XZ, he's not in the bracket. Likewise, we had Pez yesterday. We don't have Pez today.
Oof. Give that Funara.
Yeah.
Speak your truth, brother.
Pez did well. He made it to a qualifying match, by the way. He made it all the way to a qualifying match, and he's gone.
Yes. Yeah, I saw his qualifying matches in chat, in Discord, and they were rough. But he played well to them.
Yeah. There we go.
Rewind's just really good.
Go for it, man. Go.
All right. In the top left-hand corner of this map, which I don't know the name of, it is the Red Terran. It is Kevin Liu.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Amphion, we have we have the Australian Zurich player. He is one of our own. He's representing the CranKy Ducklings. It is Oreo. The fanfares, they're back. Asher is back. The only thing we're missing is Rufus Cam. How's Rufio, by the way? How's Rufio?
I ate him.
Oh my god.
No, he's okay. I don't know where he is though.
Okay.
He's been annoying. He keeps on he's been jumping on my desk a little bit less coordinated than usual.
Oh.
So before he was kind of like gracefully leaping onto my desk, and now he just kind of like works out how he's gonna land once he's already up here. He kind of slides around, falls onto the keyboard a little bit.
Oh my god.
Stumbles. Yeah. I think he's getting older, but
yeah.
he just kind of does his thing now.
It sounds like it. It's interesting. It's interesting, yeah. So a little bit less graceful than he used to be, but still has plenty of pizzazz.
He's still kicking. Yeah. What the fuck is this map?
Okay, so we're probably gonna have to do this for every single new map, but as we mentioned, every new map has a weird feature. As you see here, that to actually get a Reaper Scout off, you actually don't have a way into the main base outside of through the natural. We have a pylon Reaper cliff wall here at the natural base as well, or a ramp on the right hand side.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you can't play 4-gate Blink either, so I'll take it.
Yeah, true. Can't play 4-gate Blink. Likewise, we have minerals here on the left-hand side for both players, is to gain access to maybe a would-be triangular third base or a fourth base location. It does create like a new rush distance or a rush path here on the left-hand side as well, so you can gain access to that. Otherwise, yeah, this is, I would say, one of the less quirkier maps out there, because there's a lot of bases. I don't know if you've seen, there's like bases with like in-base natural bases and pocket goal bases and all this crazy nonsense. It's wild.
I saw some map that has like, it has, the like e-boy or e-girl split hair dye, where it's like you have like black on one side and red on the other, or you have like blonde on one side and black on the other. It was like that, but for the natural. It's like the blonde gold minerals and then the blue minerals.
Yes, exactly. They're crazy.
The e-girl split dye map.
The map, it's going through some things. It's a phase. Hopefully it's a phase. Fingers crossed. As we do see Kevin Liu getting into a standard opener, we haven't spoken too much about our players here, but of course Oreo, he's a bit of a favorite on the channel from the CranKy Ducklings. No bias whatsoever. But Kevin Liu, he's been a namesake for a while as well. He isn't the most known player. He's not like Oliveira or Coffee, but like he's been around the block for a couple of years here, like a pretty consistent player in our region.
Yeah, the play's looking pretty solid so far. Very standard, just going for 3cc, so it looks like he's fairly confident. But on the side of Oreo, ZVT is absolutely his best matchup, and he's going to be very comfortable playing a standard game. 100%.
Oreo, usually when we hear the balance whining or the crying, it's usually about, the Protoss, mainly the Protoss, really. So thankfully, he doesn't have to deal with that. He's up against a Terran player instead, and as you mentioned, this is also a matchup that has been impacted the least in the new patch when it comes to the changes. More than anything, I would say maybe it's favored Zerg players just because the Widowmine has been adjusted, and that will impact how the Widowmine interacts with Lingbane.
Alright, so nothing's changed there. Still favors Zerg players, and they'll still complain about it just a little bit, just enough to not get nerfed too much.
Copious.
I see how it is.
But yeah, I don't know if you saw the change. It was the wind mine. The radius was slightly reduced, I believe,
Yeah.
when it comes to splash damage, and I think it also does a little bit less damage radius-wise as well, like the further out it is.
Yeah, something like that. And they have the big line because I don't know, everyone who doesn't play Terran, like the brain's it's not quite there in the full capacity. You need a little bit of help, which is, you know, we're gracious. We'll let you have it.
It's less about the brain. It's more about our eyes. Okay, I'm blind, Bobby. I can't see anything, mate. Even with my glasses.
Yeah,
mate.
but
you want me to keep track of this like thin line, mate? Oh my god.
To me, it's like, do you want to see? Like, I don't think you want to see that. That's what I was thinking when I heard that there's a change that it gives you an alert when it's about to attack. All that I was thinking is, it just means when you're playing ZVT, not only do you get hit by the mines, but you get to see as well, because it reminds you right before it happens.
I like it. So what you're saying is really it was a buff to Terran, because now you like win the mental battle, because now you're forcing Zerg players to see their units die.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, okay, interesting build coming out from the Terran here though, as we think about the mental of the gameplay. He's gone for a Hellbat build here. I do know that these are a bit less committed than they used to be because the armor is quite a bit cheaper.
Yeah, that was a change in the new patch, which is the cost of the armory. Third base being taken. Interesting choice here as Kevin Liu is mining through those mineral patches. Is going to be expanding towards left-hand side. At the same time, Banshees do hit that main base, and we are getting some damage done here. Ooh, but a Banshee goes down.
Yeah, Banshee goes down, losing 2 drones there. Orio's going to be pretty happy with this defense so far. At the same time, it looks like the Hellbats, they didn't really do too much, but like we were talking about before, only 50 gas for that armory, and you're going to need it later anyway, so we don't really need to look at Hellbat builds the same way as we used to, where that kind of thing would be a pretty big deal before.
Yeah, exactly. So it's interesting though nonetheless, because I haven't seen too much of this faster armory play, but as you mentioned, you know, it is something you can do. And Kevin, he's invested quite a lot into these Hellions. It's not mech by any means, but how many Hellions do we have? That's going to be 14 Hellions. Oh my god.
14? Yeah, this is very strange. I know Clem would occasionally do 12 Hellion builds, where he would, send the 12 Hellions and a Liberator at the same time. But I remember it hitting a lot earlier than this. The only thing that I'm thinking now is maybe he's faking mech, or at least faking... It looks like Blue Flame to me, but Orio's not really reacting as if it's not bio.
Yeah, it's Lingbane Hydra, right? Like, when you don't have roaches, we're not investing into roaches either. Meanwhile, the Hellions are going for a dive. Queens are coming in for a bit of an intercept as well, and the Hellions, they should be able to barely get out. Lings are trying to get us around here, but it looks like we should be able to roast them up.
Yeah, the Ling's going to be dribbling through and they all go down, but a decent amount of damage on these Hellions. The main thing for Oreo is just defending his mineral lines. He doesn't really mind losing Lings at this point.
Yeah, exactly. He barely loses any workers, so really good defense here out of Oreo. He's able to maintain himself. On top of that, his crease rate isn't looking too bad either. As I say that, Kevin is going to be able to clean up some of these tumors, and more importantly, his third base is up and running. Like, he has been left untouched as we do catch some more Hellions.
Yeah, a couple of these Hellions being caught out buys enough time for the Queens to get into position, and I'm getting the feeling with this map as well, it's probably going to favor whoever can get the most momentum, just because if you can start to take control of these center bases, they're going to be really hard to take back.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, Oreo, he's already expanding here towards the center as well, even spreading creep towards the left-hand side. And once he does have these bases, as you mentioned, he's going to have such an easier time dealing and even intercepting some of these big fights with some of these big move-outs. Meanwhile, Kevin, it looks like he does want to expand towards the left-hand side. It looks like he's headed towards that hybrid base. He's going for it.
Yeah, gonna start expanding pretty aggressively towards the Terran. Really nice scout there by Oreo. Does get that Ling in, sees where the fourth is going to be, sees how saturated the third is as well, so should know exactly what's going on. I am a little bit worried for him though. His upgrades are pretty far behind those of the Terran.
Yeah, 1-1 is still kicking in. He prioritizes his hydras instead. Meanwhile, at the same time, we try to focus down that infestation. And Mine Shot, is going to be going off here. The Unburrow 1 second too late.
Wow, beautiful Ling splits there by Oreo. That was very nicely done.
Very well done there. He saves the infestation mid just barely as well, so he's going to be able to keep that up and running. At the same time, a Lingbane run by here does hit the mineral line. Good reaction out of Kevin, and only loses 4 SCVs. Again, that could have been so much worse as his reinforcements are in position.
Yeah, he's on top of it, but I'm worried about this fourth base here. It looks like Oreo doesn't want to fully commit, knowing that the army is in position, but I'm still not really feeling like this is the strongest army here for the Terran. You can see just how far he's been set back by going for all of those hellbats.
Yeah.
And now I'm sure Oreo will be looking to split up his army in two and start putting pressure on the other side as well.
Exactly. Like, this isn't the most defendable base either. It's here on the low ground. You know, there aren't as many places to take advantage of when it comes to the terrain as well for the Terrans. So we'll see if Kevin Lu can hold on to it. At the same time, he's going for a split push. Likewise, Oreo trying to get eyes on any other would-be expansion here. Again, I'm really just interested in how Kevin Lu is expanding and how he's approaching this here. Could even be looking to expand even right outside the bases of Oreo.
Yeah, it looks like Oreo just wants to poke here at the natural, and there's not much here to defend, so things are going to start to get a little bit wild here. The Banelings are going to be running in. They clear the way for the Lings if they want to run in after.
They did clear the way, but big mine shots go off. We get a couple of Lings getting into the mineral line, but for the most part, we do minimize our losses. Good defense here by Kevin Lu. At the same time, Oreo trying to hit that fourth base, but the planetary is done.
Yeah, there's a lot of mines here as well. He is going to be able to get some cleanup here, but not the most efficient trade for Oreo.
Yeah, not the best trade. He is going to be forced back. At the same time, triple drop moving out on the right-hand side, but Oreo, he is tracking this army. He should be able to clean this up. As I say that, the Banelings, they do head over towards the right-hand side, and the unload does complete.
Yeah, he has lost a fair bit of his supply here, so that does make things a bit more difficult, but he's also done a really good job of just constantly tracking where everything is, so it's going to be a little bit hard to hold on here, but at least he has a pretty good idea of what's going on.
Yeah, he's aware of the pushes, but can he deal with them? As we do see Kevin Lu attempting to lay siege upon the main base, has made his way all the way across the map. At the same time, the triple drop on the right-hand side is still being very much so active, and Oreo, he's being spread a little bit thin here, and he doesn't have much creep to work with. This choke point is brutal.
Yeah, this is a really difficult position to deal with. Oreo's going to slow this down with the Queens. He does have 2-2 just kicking in now. That's going to be really helpful with these engagements, and great connections with the Banelings on the Hellbats.
Yeah, very nice connections there. Lings, they flood on in. Where are the Marines? Where's the army? Kevin Lu does not have enough here. At the same time, though, he gets 24 drones across the map.
Yeah, good multitask there. That double drop's getting a lot of damage, so now Oreo needs to get some counter damage going.
Really does. Again, his economy is in shambles. He's down to 61 workers. The drop is still getting damage done. More drones are going down, and Oreo, he's going all the way towards that planetary, but we have reinforced his position, and do we have enough to deal with this? Where are the Banelings?
Yeah, the Banelings coming in now. That should be enough to take out this PF, but Oreo needs to make sure that he protects the Banelings on their way in.
Oh my god, they do manage to get into the mineral line, and the planetary is going to be going down. It's going to be close. Marauders are coming out. Looks like Oreo does not have enough. He forces the cancel on the base, gets 14 SCV kills, but Kevin Lu will hold.
That cancel isn't massive though. The Terrans now drop down to 3 bases, doesn't have a 4th even on the way, so he's put into a pretty awkward position now.
He is in an awkward position. He may be forced to maybe even lift up his main base. I still got resources mining in the main. Despite that though, the drop's still getting more damage done. The hatchery getting very low as well. Both players are hurting here in the economy, and it's getting quite scrappy.
Yeah, this drop has done a hell of a lot here for Kevin Lu, but looks like Oreo will eventually be able to clean it up now. And yeah, both players, as you're saying, pretty scrappy situation, pretty low on supply. I am a little bit worried for the Terrans because they've been switching into ghosts here, so the supply is going to be a little bit lower. It's a bit of an awkward army to deal with now.
Yeah, as we can see here, it's very high-tech, right? We have Marauders, we have tanks, we have ghosts. Not a lot of Marines are available here, and Kevin Lu is going to be stuck at home. We do see another CC on the way, but it's barely halfway done. It's going to take quite some time for Kevin Lu to get his economy back up and running. And Oreo, he's now dealt with the drop. He's now freely droning up.
Yeah, exactly. And like you're saying, this is an army. It's good when it stays at home for the Terran, but it's not really that effective at attacking because, I mean, there's tanks, there's Marauders. Not too much firepower in the way of Marines, like you're saying, so he kind of just has to sit back and chill, which means Oreo is going to be able to catch back up quite easily.
Exactly. Oreo, he has breathing room here to just recover, to just situate himself, and Kevin Lu can't stop him. You know, the drops earlier were amazing. They did so much damage, more than we thought would happen here, but it looks like it may just not be enough at this point, as Oreo is going to be free to remax. He's already drawn back up to 75, he can drone up to 80, and he has Hive Tech. Vipers have arrived.
Yeah, and I mean, that drop as well, the multitask was so good, but I feel like what's happened here is it's the first game jitters, and now he's woken up Oreo. He should have saved the cracked multitask for later.
Exactly, Oreo, now he's awake, now he's all over the map as well. The creep is still looking solid, and you can see here that Oreo, he's just making sure that there's no other expansions going on. He knows that, honestly, Oreo doesn't have to force the issue. He doesn't have to push into this entrenched position. Oreo can just engulf the map, max out, and oh, we're not quite in position here. This base looking very vulnerable.
We found the deepers. There's going to be a lot of supply being lost. Beautiful link split there. Still plenty of attention to detail coming out from Oreo, even as he attacks in here. And he's just going to ransack this natural. As the Terran army responds, he can just get out of there as well.
Yeah, and such a heavy supply block there. The armory, it's barely not going to go down, but it may burn down regardless here. Big supply block there for Kevin Liu and Oreo. He's free to back off. That does burn down in the end.
Yeah, a little bit sad there, and oh, that's so annoying. Even got the Lings blocking the base there. Looks like he might not have enough energy for a scanner. He hasn't noticed yet, but Oreo is relentless. He's going to keep working at trying to spread the army this way, that way. It's not going to be the most efficient fight, but he just needs to take the tanks out.
Yeah, it takes down 2 tanks, backs up. There's a handful of tanks behind this. The army is getting in position. We even have some Liberators. Queens are going to be thrown away, but as you mentioned, Oreo, all he has to do is back off, regenerate energy here on his Vipers, and max out once again. And hit timing here with 3-3.
Yeah, it kind of feels like it's just a matter of time for the Terran now, and yeah, it looks like he's recognizing that as well. Feels like he needs to go for a push here. Is a pretty good position here. Nice and choked up. The minerals still haven't been clear, but yeah, Oreo's just going to jump right on top of this, and this might be the end here.
Yeah, big blinding cloud on the armor. We engulf the entire force. We have a couple of tanks. Mine shot's going to be going off, but again, there's just not enough Terran. We even yoink the final medevac. GG gets called, and Oreo takes game number 1.
GG, very nicely played there by Oreo, and well played by the Terran as well. He was keeping up for a lot of that game, and the drop just got so much damage, that little double drop that was going in the bottom right there, but it wasn't enough in the end.
Yeah, it wasn't enough. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to hold on to that planetary, wasn't able to survive the counterattack from Oreo. It was very close though, and imagine if maybe he remember that canceled the canceled 5th CC, like if that was placed further back, if that survived, maybe we can retake that 4th base a little faster and we can keep things going. Like that defense was so on a knife's edge, and you know, that wasn't insurmountable for Kevin Liu. You know, that game wasn't completely out of his hands.
Yeah, that extra base while it was building might have been better tucked away at that 3rd, just because there's not really any attack angle into the 3rd, but true. Yeah, that's definitely a mistake that I make all the time, and I've lost a lot of games because of it.
Yeah, you just want to get your 4th base, or sorry, your 5th base up and running as quickly as possible, but yeah, you know, at times you can be punished for that. That is a good point that you made. Because the expansion pattern of Kevin Liu, that 3rd base was pretty safe and pretty well fortified, so you can kind of make use of that in other ways. Definitely something, or a big feature of that map to bear in mind in the future, as we're loading into an older map instead.
Oh yeah, I know this one.
Yeah.
Well, actually, intros first, story later.
Okay, here we go. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Alkione, we have our red Terran player here. We have a red Terran. It is Kevin Liu.
And in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, his neck is covered in hickeys from last night. He is still hung over. He can barely see the screen at all. It is playing for the CranKy Ducklings. Oreo.
You're an animal, Pop. You're an animal. Oh, his back hurts. You know, his legs don't work. You know, he's in a wheelchair.
He left his wallet and his shoes at the club. He had to walk home in bare feet. His feet are bleeding because he had to walk all the way home.
Yes, exactly.
Doesn't stop him from playing StarCraft.
That's
though.
how much passion he has, mate. That's how much passion. You know, he's wearing sunglasses. You know, his head hurts. Like he's suffering from tinnitus. He can barely hear from all that blaring music. He was actually dancing right next to the speaker last night as well, and he's still playing.
He's still got the music going because he's been up since last night, and if he doesn't have the music going, he'll fall asleep.
There you go. There you go. Hashtag Oreo in the club.
The important story that I had to ask is, when you're in Poland, did you see the cat that's on Google Maps?
Excuse me?
There's a cat that lives in Poland that has its own location on Google Maps.
Oh, I didn't know there was a Poland cat.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
I did not.
Hopefully they're still alive. That would be really sad.
Oh my god. Unfortunately not. I thought you had a story about the map when you told about Alkione. I was like, oh, I'm ready for an Asher game, but yeah, no.
Okay. Okay. Did you meet any cans?
I think I did. Did I?
You wouldn't remember.
Look, it was a long
Oh,
time
yeah.
ago. Okay,
It's all a blur.
It's all a blur, Papi. It's all a blur. Hi,
Did you get to go out much while you were there?
Yeah. You know, I went to IEM, of course. Went to IEM, got to meet everyone. Had a pretty great time at the event. I was able to explore the city a little bit. I still casted every day. I casted more in Poland than I did now that I'm back in Australia because I'm sick. But yeah, you know, I got to experience some of Poland. Yeah. It's good.
You casted more in Poland because you're sick. You're like fully sick. It's got nothing to do with coming back here.
Okay. There you go.
Gotcha. Did you get pierogi?
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Several times?
Yeah, as often as I could.
Yeah, okay, nice. Every meal.
I got to experience. Oh god, it's all blending together. Yeah, I did the best that I could to get as much like Polish cuisine as possible to like you know, because I feel like you don't really get like a lot of Polish food, right? Like that's not really much of a thing in the West, right? Like you got like Italian restaurants, right? You know, you go like Greek places, or like we have like a little like blend food here and stuff, but I don't know, you don't see many Polish like restaurants, right?
Yeah, no, totally. Like in Melbourne, I'd be able to tell you which street is like the Italian food street, and like which area is like where you get the Lebanese bakeries and that stuff. But I couldn't really tell you where like a Polish. There's probably I know there's a Polish restaurant, but I couldn't tell you where like the Polish area is.
Exactly. I know there's like one Polish restaurant in all of Sydney.
Okay,
I think there's only one. Yeah.
Okay, great scout for Oreo there. He sees the stim on the racks, and he sees that second racks coming down, so he knows it's going to be a 2-on-1 type build. Anyway, back to the food though, because nothing's going to happen too much yet. The thing that I always find weird about eating in other countries, it's not like the restaurants. It's when you run out of money and you have to cook for yourself, and you work out like what you can get from a supermarket in the other country.
No, I love the so I did a lot of cooking. I cook, papi, I cook. And I did a lot of cooking there. But that is a challenge because obviously their supermarkets are very different to ours. Like they just sell different things. They have some things, they don't have other things, right? And that things I've never seen before. So yeah, it's an experience in and of itself. Like just going to like the supermarket and trying to like live.
Yeah, there's always, you can't really remember what's missing, but you just, for some reason, can't find like a full meal at all. At least that's what I found in England. I was like, if I want to have cup noodle, I'm sorted. Like, they've got plenty of that.
Yeah.
But if I want to actually like cook something, I'm trying to work out. I'm like buying like a bit of broccoli, and I've got like a sauce. I'm just kind of like, nah, what do I do with this? It's weird. It's really confusing.
For sure. Yeah, it's always great, like kind of experiencing that and trying to figure out like what's more common and what isn't as common as well. Like seafood isn't a big thing in Poland, right? Like it's mainly like pork or like poultry-based meat. There's not a lot of beef, I noticed, or like the beef that is there is like a little more expensive as well, which is interesting. So again, it's a little more like pork or like chicken-based like meat, it feels. So yeah, I had to work around that. Different sauces, right? Different quantities. Yeah, it was interesting. It's good.
Ooh, Hellions do get caught out here. So far, it has seemed like Oreo has a little bit of a speed advantage over Kevin Liu. It has shown in a few of the little interactions here and there, but this is a very well-timed 3cc 2-on-1 fourth coming down at a fantastic time as well. So this game's still totally up for grabs for the Terran.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, this 2-on-1 variation or esque build is now coming into play for Kevin Liu, but Oreo, for the most part, he's ready for it. He's got Ling Bane, he's got his queens, able to force this back, even focusing down one of the medevacs as well. Very nice pick off there by Oreo.
Yeah, that's huge. That's really punishing for the Terran here. I mean, he's doing a good job with his build, getting that fourth up nice and early. Already going into mines, got those upgrades on the way as well. We can see again for Oreo, he's delaying his upgrades just to get Banelings a little bit earlier, so he's definitely playing it safe here.
Yeah, it is playing it safe. We do have a bit of a Ling run by here, trying to force some friendly fire, but the Lings are going to be cleaned up. But regardless, so Kevin Liu is forced back, and Oreo, he's free to just drone up and creep as much as he likes. He's already reaching the halfway mark, even further than that. I feel like this is really exemplifying, you know, why you did mention earlier how Oreo, his best matchup is ZVT, and you can see here that Oreo, he's looking pretty comfortable.
Yeah, so what Oreo is, for anyone who doesn't know, is a twitchy zoomer. And
yes.
it turns out that ZVT is like the perfect matchup for twitchy zoomers because you just do lots of stuff really fast. And if you're faster than the other guy, you just win.
It's kind of like Rainer, right? Like he's also a twitchy zoomer, you know? Or like Eva.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really know Eba's personality, but Raynor is 100% the twitchy zoomer.
No, Eba.
And then Oreo's like... He's like the secret twitchy zoomer. Like you wouldn't think he'd be, you know, in the club and then coming back hungover and playing at 600 APM, but he's like the dark horse twitchy zoomer.
Yeah, Eva's an animal, mate. He's got like 800 APM on average, and if you like watch his stream or if you watch his POV,
he uses it all on time.
He like times
he
all his
uses
ladder.
All his APM.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It was so funny watching him and Migs because they're the same. They both have like way too much APM, more than they know what to do with.
Yeah.
And so it's like 6-7 minutes into the game and they're still chatting back and forth.
I think what's crazy to me, very often Eva, he streams without a mic. And while he's playing, he's like responding to people
he types in the chat?
Yeah, he types it in the chat to people, to like answering questions and stuff while he's playing. Like, what are you doing? You're an animal. Like, what is happening? Like, I just can't comprehend that. Like, how do you do that while you're playing?
Yeah, he's always got time to be mean to me in the chat. It's not fair.
Smooch.
I get bullied by Eba.
Oh god, he's an animal, puppy. He's an animal. But you know, now we're settling into our game, and again, we've seen some attempted harass, some attempted draw play here by Kevin Liu, but Oreo, he's been able to keep up at every single turn, more so than the previous game. Again, a lot of this comes down to the map. Alkione is a larger map, longer rush distance by grounds, and you can see that Kevin, he's had a much harder time actually being assertive on the map here against Oreo.
Yeah, he didn't really get the momentum he was looking for with the 2-on-1. It is such a tempo-based build. You really do need to have... it's not that you need to get like a lot of damage, but it relies on each step kind of building on the previous one. And yeah, Oreo looks extremely comfortable in this game. The map's purple. Like,
yeah.
There's no other way around it.
Oreo, he's just all over this map right now. It's just drenched in Oreo, and even here the Marines are gonna get caught out. Good target power here on some of the medivacs as well. Thankfully, the 4 medivacs will escape. Kevin Liu is on 4 bases, but taking a 5th base, that's gonna be a very, very, very difficult ask here for Kevin, as Creep is basically touching tips with every single other base.
Yeah, this tank's just going for a walkabout. If Oreo's a good guy, he'll let this go. And I think Oreo is a good guy. If I know him, we're gonna have to talk about this.
Smooch. The tank wasn't doing anything. It was just having a bit of a drive, you know?
It was just going on a little tour though.
Yeah.
Oreo could have been nice, but you know, he's just not that guy. I guess maybe caught him in a bad mood, you know, because he's a little bit hungover.
Yeah,
but here we go. Oreo is going to be crashing in on both sides. Has a pretty dominating amount of supply here. And yeah, Kevin Liu just not able to micro in both places at once here. Massive Baneling connections.
Yeah, massive connections. Looks like Kevin Liu, he will defend his natural and his 3rd base, but here on the right-hand side, 15 SCVs go down. A big connection there on the Ghost, on the Bio Army. Oreo from here can back off. He can remax, and he can get ready to go in once again. Kevin Liu, he is struggling here, and it is just such an uphill battle. You know, how do we come back from this position? I would imagine it would be just drop play or just like turtling up, you know, pitching your tent, pulling a bit of a MIGS, but at this point it may even be too late for that.
Yeah, I think it probably is a little bit late. I mean, everything's on fire. The thing that he does have going for him this time round is he does have those extra bases up a lot earlier. I think I can see a base over there next to the 3rd. Yeah, he's got that extra orbital. It's going to do a nice job blocking everything as well. So he has done a much better job getting those up quickly. But the other thing I'm a little bit worried about, he has been a bit slow to remake these SCVs. I think he's got enough now, but yeah, it's just a really tough spot to be in.
It really is, and Oreo, he's not going to make it easy here as he's getting ready for another push. As we can see here, Oreo, he did delay his Hive. Hive is just now on the way. He was more focused on maxing out with Ling Bane Hydra, but now with Hive Tech, he can gain access to 3-3, Adrenal, Vipers as well, and make it that much easier to break into these entrenched positions.
As a Zerg player, when you drop like all of the energy's worth of changelings, even if you don't need to, does that make you feel cool?
It does.
I've noticed Zergs, they put so much priority. They'll be doing it like in a fight. Like they'll be controlling other stuff in a fight, and they'll drop all the changelings before their overseer gets killed. And I'm just like, why?
It often
Does
doesn't
it feel
do
as good as
anything.
it looks?
It's like the dopamine, you know, the dopamine of like pressing a button and having like an action occur there. Yeah. It just
And that's why we play StarCraft, right?
True. It's like, I don't know, maybe it's kind of like, you tell me, like, how does it feel when you're a Terran player and you're like hyper-microing like 2 Marines with 1 medevac, right? Like,
Let me stop you right there. No, it feels really good. My favorite thing to do was dropping like 1 Marine on a Bane lane.
Yeah. No, but I can understand that
really
though,
good.
because that's like really efficient. That's like really good, you know?
Yeah, but I do it even if it wasn't. It's just like you press the drop button and like green thing explodes. And then you see the Zerg start to like micro their Baneling so that it doesn't blow up. And that feels even better. Weirdly enough.
How does it feel? Have you ever in your career, in your journey playing StarCraft, have you ever like muled to like trap a unit to kill it? Have you been able to pull that off?
I've muled.
I see.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Not gonna lie, that feels good.
You're like, let me stop you right there, okay? You think I need to trap a unit? No. I could be losing. I would throw out a mule, and mate, the feeling that I get
You gotta let them know.
in my hands, it's amazing.
I've thought about this before, how I wish there was like the equivalent of muling someone, but in real life. Like,
oh my god.
you're just like in a work meeting, and the meeting's really boring. And you just like, you get up to go to the bathroom, but you mule before you leave.
Oh god.
Or it's like you get the promotion over someone else, and you just like mule on their desk.
Oh god. What is the equivalent of muling though? What is that? Is that like, am I dating myself? Is that like dabbing? Like, is there like a modern dab? Like, what do people do?
I think maybe like when you go for a handshake, but then you like don't complete the handshake and you walk away.
That's dating ourselves. I don't think people do that anymore. I think I don't know.
Yeah. You can't do it with like the hair check.
Yeah.
That's a bit overdone.
I
But don't know, you can make it look fake. Or it's like alphaing someone, you know, like I'm trying to think of a good example. Like if someone was like photocopying something and you're like, I've got this champ, and you just like shove past them and you start photocopying in between their jobs.
You just show them how it's done. You know, I'm the photocopy master, right? Like you know.
Yeah.
Do it. Yeah.
Or maybe actually just champing someone. I think champing someone is muling.
You need to. What is champing someone? What is that?
Oh, we don't need to cast this. You know, it's kind of like it's just Banelings are hitting things. Everything's dying.
Yeah,
it's a death animation.
It's fine. Yeah.
Champing someone is like, you know, when you do like the semi-ironic, like, oh yeah, all right, champ. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or it's kind of like it's like it's not a very nice thing to do. But it's like when you come patting someone on the back and you're like, yeah, good on you, champ. Yeah.
But like ironically though, not actually meaning it.
Yeah, ironically.
Okay. I see. It's like you're little broing someone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It is little broing someone.
Yeah.
I can't think of any examples because I'm too nice. I'd never do that. But
Of course.
it's
you
that.
know.
Yeah.
I see. Oh god. As I mean, this entire time Oreo, I mean, he's been looking dominant here. He's just pulling his opponent apart. Just too much of a lead early on. The Nexus Planetary is gonna be going down, and Kevin Lou is down to 3 bases. And you know, this is crazy, right? The comparison here between game 1 and game 2, I think you mentioned it before. You might be on point here, where Oreo, he just needed to wake up, right? He needed game 1 to really just like to kind of slap him awake here and to get into the zone.
Yeah, I mean, these Niduses have been insane, and I'm really feeling for the Terran here because I know exactly what's happening here. I'm seeing all of the ghosts in the natural when they don't need to be in the natural, and what's happened here is every Terran has like a multitask limit. So it's kind of like this health bar or like this energy bar that slowly fills and fills and fills. And when you get overwhelmed with multitask, you just end up F2ing. There's nothing you can do about it. And then the game's just over from there.
Yeah, and I mean, again, like, Oreo, he's been under no threat at all here for the past couple of minutes. Like, he's just freely expanding, taking more bases, and he's been left untouched this entire time. Even though Kevin Lu, he is holding, he's, like, barely surviving through these pushes. Like, is he really living, though? And again, Oreo, he's under no threat here. He can just keep remaxing, keep rebuilding. He's chilling. Big chilling.
Yeah, he's having fun here. And, the Terran is holding on, but having a look at the supplier kind of tells the story. And now we have this ragtag army. There's a Viking here for some reason. We've got a few ghosts, a few Marines, a few orange health marauders. This is it's a bit of a sad and sorry sight.
Let's go. I mean, man, he knew corruptors were coming. He needs the Viking.
True.
Yeah.
I have seen people have been playing like Master Viking Live a little bit in TVZ, which I think is kind of cool.
Oh, okay, that's pretty crazy. Okay, I'm a little bit jealous. Like I'm not gonna lie, I have this past like 2 weeks of me being sick has been the least amount of StarCraft I've casted in like 4 years. Like I'm like barely casting once a day, and I feel so out of the loop. Like I feel like I
barely once a day. Yeah, man. That must be tough for you.
It's tough, but I like, mate, I feel like I don't know, like, what are people doing nowadays on the new maps? Like, I haven't seen, like, Viking Live. Like, that sounds crazy. I haven't seen that. I want to see that.
Yeah, I saw that. So Migs is playing against Scarlet, and that's where I saw that. The other game that I saw recently was, Day 9 has been casting a few games.
Yeah.
Ooh, that Viper got sniped.
Dude.
That was, I've seen that on a certain website before.
Oh my God.
We do have the Ghosts actually kind of doing some ghost things, getting some good value here.
Yeah, the Ghosts have been popping up. You know, they're trading as efficiently as possible here. Not too bad here by Kevin Lu, as finally for the first time he's breaking out of his shell, breaking out of his bases. As I say that, maybe I spoke too soon, as Oreo, he does collapse on this.
Yeah, the splits are good, but the blinding clouds are even better, and it looks like Oreo, he has finally put that last nail in the coffin, and those last few ghosts, they are going to be doing their best. I don't know, Kerrigan, is this what you're doing, Kerrigan survival? There's ghosts surviving, I'm kind of imagining.
Need to get Stardock on the phone here as GG gets called, and Oreo will take the series 2-0, advancing on into the next round.
GG, Oreo gets that 2-0, and he is going to be well and truly warmed up here as well, so nice game, and good job from the Terran as well, mixing things up, playing some standard builds, playing really well, but Oreo's EVT, thing of legend, pretty tough to come up against.
Oh yeah, definitely. Again, no bias whatsoever, but Oreo doing so well here in his first series. I mean, again, we mentioned game 1 was a lot more back and forth. Game 1 was far closer, and I almost felt like it was going to set the tone here for the series. I was hoping for an ace match, but game 2, Oreo was so in control of that entire game. Scouting early on, confirming the 2-1-1 variation, and able to shut it down. And as you mentioned, like, that kind of playstyle, that kind of build is very momentum-based, and that's also why we don't really see it as often as we used to.
Yeah, I think it's kind of one of those builds where if the Zerg gets a bit of a misread, you can get into a pretty insane position. Like on paper, it looks really good. You have the double drop pressure earlier than usual. You have all the economy of a 3cc. But Zergs have kind of worked out that they can really cut a few corners before that 2-on-1 hits.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, once Oreo did clean up that first medevac, it felt like that momentum never really went away.
Oh yeah, exactly. It was just all things in favor of Oreo from then on forward. GG with that, he moves on to the next round. We can take a moment here to have a look at the bracket to catch up and figure out where Oreo is taking us. But before that, a big shout out to some people in the chat. A big shout out to... Oh, let me just quickly double check. Shin did gift a tier 1 sub to NXZ. So thank you so much to... for gifting that sub. Gracias, papi, gracias. Likewise, we also had a resub in the chat as well. We did have Babylings resubbing for 23 months, as well as Shiva Blaster resubbing for 28 months as well. So thank you so much for the support. Gracias.
Yeah, very nice. Giving that gift sub to Ryan because, you know, it's been a tough month, champ. I know that $5, it's a bit much, champ. We'll sort it out for you.
Yeah, yeah. You know, we do what we can to support Ryan. Ryan, shaking my head, shaking my head. Maybe next season we can make him play. Um, but yeah, I'm really excited to see and have a look at the bracket here. Let's go over some updates. Do we have
While you do that, I'm gonna look up a psychology thing for my story.
Okay. Okay, but here we go. So from the top, we do have some updates coming in. Oreo takes down Kevin Liu 2-0. Oreo advances on to face off against Lemon, the Taiwanese Protoss player, in a ZVP. So Oreo versus Lemon is going to be coming up next. Meanwhile, scrolling down, Jaedong Oz takes down Expect 2-0. That's a pretty big win. For a very long time, Expect was the best Terran player in all of Taiwan, but he gets knocked out in the very first round. A very big upset there, or I would say just a big name falling in the early round. So a big shout to Jaedong Oz. Is going to be facing off against But Always in the round of 16. Scrolling down a little bit further, we do have Moku up against Sarite in the round of 16. Leo Rusher versus Magical Cookie. I think, is that you? Is that Magical Cookie?
That's you, yeah.
Yeah. We do have Leo Rusher up against you in the round of 16, and Azure is still mid-series against Wave in the upper round of 32.
Yeah, that's right. I see Demi down the bottom there as well. Good to see Demi playing a bit of StarCraft. He has been doing some chat real-life activities. Have you seen a photo of Demi recently?
I have not.
He has lost so much weight.
Really?
It's insane.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Like I think like 20 kilos or something. Like he's been like gymming hard.
That's so cool. That's so inspiring. Big shout out to Demi here. Hitting that gym hard.
Yeah. The things that are possible when you play a bit less StarCraft.
It's crazy, man.
No,
Oh my
good to
god.
hear.
Like it's crazy. Man, you stop playing StarCraft and just like that your life just improves. It just gets better. It's
Yeah.
I feel like people
But okay. So what I was looking up while you were having a look at the bracket. So there was this study where basically they were looking at boredom. So they have monkeys and they're shocking monkeys because, you know, psychologists, they're assholes. They just like to hurt monkeys for some reason. But they worked out that if you just leave a monkey in a room that's completely empty and has nothing to play with, and you have just in the middle of a room a button, and when they press the button, it shocks them, they'll still press the button and get shocked instead of being bored. They would rather like have the physical pain than just be sitting there being bored. And that's what StarCraft is.
Do they start to like it though? Do they like the shock?
Well, I think you still get the dopamine. You get like the anticipation of reward, even though once it actually happens, you don't like it. Because the thing is, like, dopamine isn't actually, you don't get dopamine when you get a reward, you get it in anticipation of a reward. So you can get it in anticipation of a punishment too, just because you know you're not going to be bored.
Do you like getting shocked?
Yeah, I think we all like pain a little bit, apparently.
Oh, let's go. Yeah, that's interesting, and I can totally buy that here as well. I mean, like, especially when it comes to certain video games, right? Like, there's not even just video games, but like, there's so many examples of you just doing something like willingly, not even talking about like work or anything like that, but doing something willingly in your like free time, even though you like don't enjoy it, but like just to do it. Like, how many people like it's like how many people like hate game like League of Legends, right? And like,
well,
I don't know,
okay, so I was gonna say the example. So if StarCraft 2 is like you press the button and you get shocked, League of Legends is like you press a button and then behind you you hear the door open and someone walks in and they just walk up to you and they say, "I hate you," and then they walk away and they close the door behind them.
Let's go. It's like, yeah, I guess it makes sense, right? Because you get that like verbal punishment, you know, like
Yeah. And then the door closes and they leave and you're like, I don't even know this person. And every time you press a button, a different person comes in and tells you that they hate you. Yeah. And then they leave.
Yeah. But it's not just that they hate you, they sometimes they get creative with it and they can like, you know, to tell you that they hate you in different ways, you know?
Yeah, it's really weird. It's just like, not only do I hate you, but I've always hated you since before I even knew you, since I was born.
Oh my god.
Why?
but every now and then you get to be the person that walks into the room. that's the other.
Yeah, that's the catch. That's the catch. If you do an hour of it, you
Yeah.
get to be like the person walking into different rooms for the next hour.
Yep, there you go. That's League of Legends, mate. That's League. God. But yeah, like even like WoW, right? Like even like MMOs and stuff like that, like they have that as well, which doesn't even necessarily have like a PvP aspect, but you just hate it, but you just do it anyway. It's great.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know much about competitive WoW. I'm trying to think of an example of this for WoW. I think it would be like 60 of you stand in a line, and you can't move, and you just stay still in the line, and there's a one button in the middle.
Yeah.
And if someone presses a button, the other 59 people beat that person up.
Mate, the stories that I have of like being in a raid, right? Doing progression, and you got that one guy that's just high as a kite. He's a good player, he's a great guy, but like, you know, every now and then, you know, you got a raid night where he just lights one up, and it's just one of those nights where you're gonna be, you know, stuck on that one boss for like 3 hours, you know? He just can't get out of the fire.
They're just like,
right?
did you pull the enemy that you were meant to? And they're just like, I see.
Oh god, good times. Yeah. Yeah. What
I always much preferred playing WoW casually. Retail casual WoW has a bad rep, but it's really fun. Like if you just don't take yourself too seriously while you're playing it, it's a good time.
I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I could do WoW without doing raiding content and stuff like that. I don't know. I mean, I say that I'm doing that with Final Fantasy right now, but it feels like a different vibe, you know.
I mean, Final Fantasy kind of forces you to do dungeons, right? Like you have to progress the story.
Yeah.
But I thought that was really cool because I played a little bit. I played a bit with Emma, and there was the thing where like you queue for the dungeon and it fills for you, like it fills the other two roles.
Yeah.
And we just always get like just this tank who seemed way over leveled for it and was basically just like running us through the whole thing. And then at the end they just like emote and then leave.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, cool.
It's you know, it's very casual. It's great. It's beautiful. You know, just breeze your way through.
Yeah, these people are such sweethearts. They just basically do everything for you, and you just like sit back and watch, and you're like, cool, thanks.
You're like, where's the pain? I don't understand. I pressed the button and I didn't get shocked. What's going on right now?
Yeah. I pressed the button and someone just like walked in and gave me a hug and said I was doing a good job. Like, I don't want to do this anymore.
This feels wrong. I don't like this. I don't know. Slap me.
Like, I didn't do anything to deserve this. And they're like, oh, you're playing a video game. It's meant to be fun. I'm like, what?
Oh, God. We're totally not broken. We're doing... This is fine. This is healthy. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, this is therapy.
Yeah. It's good. We like it. Copium.
Alright, speaking of therapy, player in the top right, sorry, might be needing some therapy because in the top left here, in the red, playing Protoss, it is the Taiwanese, very talented multi-racer. It is Lemon.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Australian Zerg player, the purple Zerg representing the CranKy Ducklings. It is Oreo. And have you been introduced to Ghost River?
No, but I presume it's a Maris map because I'm pretty sure this is a Nightwish song.
I think so. I believe so. I think the rush distance by ground is 31 seconds. I think it can be shorter here if you mine through these middle patches. It is a shorter rush distance than any other map in the previous map pool, which was, I think, Hard Lead was the previous shortest map. Yeah,
I think
Rush is-
ever.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Beckett was 30. I think Beckett was 31 as well.
There you go, there you go. So very short rush. It's like again, it's like a screen separating natural and natural. You can mine through these mineral patches as well, but to be fair, they're 2 layers deep, and you'd have to bring workers across the map as well if you want to try to rush and make use of this. On top, we have seen a couple of players try and all in on this map. Even though the rush distance is very short, look at how narrow these kind of like ramps are as well. Like these are very narrow ramps, and we have seen actually a lot of longer games here because of that, because of how difficult it is to actually like be aggressive here.
Yeah, this looks pretty camp. Well, I say it looks pretty campy, but you still have to extend down towards the bottom to get your 4th and 5th. It reminds me a little bit of I was gonna say Stardew, but it's not Stardew. Star something. What was a map like 2 maps ago that was a bit like this? Stargazers, yeah.
Yeah.
It probably plays out a little bit like that, except that it doesn't have the center base, so it's not as bad if you're not Zerg.
Yeah. I can definitely see that happening here as well. Again, it's still the early, the early weeks, the early days of the new patch, so we're still kind of like feeling our way out of this. Again, personally, I'm a little bit surprised that Ghost River made it through. I'm curious if Oreo has a plan here, bearing in mind this is a best of 3, so they had plenty of vetoes to work with here on these maps, and Ghost River made it through, so I'm curious, I'm excited.
Okay, cool, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have too much insight for what this is going to be like in PvZ, but both players going to be starting things off just completely stock standard. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I know Oreo was definitely going to give a lot of respect to Lemon as well. Lemon's been a Terran and Zerg player in the past, but he has been playing Protoss for quite a while now. It seems like he's kind of sticking with it, and if I'm not wrong, I feel like his Protoss has actually surpassed where his Terran and Zerg ever got to.
100%. Like he's actually been looking really good recently. He's been playing in these qualifiers, playing in other online events. And then say shaded to the 3rd base. We're going to get a couple of drone kills here. Not too bad. The Lings are going to be going down as well. Very nice trade so far here by Lemon already.
Yeah, this is already looking pretty rough for Oreo, losing 3 drones, quite a lot of mining time here as well. So this double adept attack, it really does punish the Zerg for having to take that 3rd. Sorry, the natural at the 3rd position.
The unnatural natural.
Yeah.
As we say that, the Oracle does get across the map, getting another 2 drone kills as well, taking a lot of hull damage though, so that's quite a bit of damage dealt. About 7 drones going down in total at the same time. Oreo is going for a big link counterattack here, punishing the fact that both adepts have gone down. It looks like we can force a cancel.
Yeah, I like this. The Oracle's out of position as well, so yeah, he gets the cancel. So possibly overmade Lings a little bit just because he was worried about those 2 adepts getting out of control, but he gets the damage that he needs from them. So this game looks relatively even to me.
Yeah, it's pretty good here. I will say that Oreo did lose a lot of drones though, so he's still probably slightly behind, but he comes in for a 2nd cancel. Does get a good surround here. The Oracle's once again out of position. Can we force that 2nd cancel? We cannot, as the Lings are forced back.
Oracle energy does get used up. Those Oracles are being kept at home as well, which is, it's pretty important. We are kind of forcing these adepts to chill too. We can see, yeah, Lemon, he needs to get that Oracle back out and get some scouting going.
He does need a scout, needs to read whether or not Oreo's even droning, whether he's going for a fast lair or a fast roach one. The Oracle does bypass that natural, gets a revelation off, and he does confirm that we are indeed droning up and that we haven't gone for a lair in the natural or the main base.
I got really distracted there. I'm just remembering. So my mom used to bake these lemon drop cookies.
Oh.
And I haven't had them in so long. And I just like, I was thinking about them because I haven't had them in so long. And I just had this really like clear taste memory.
Oh. Okay, I don't think I've ever had a lemon.
I'm kind of hungry now.
Like I love citrusy stuff. Like I'm all for like, you know,
Yeah.
sour and like lemon based stuff. So it sounds good.
Yeah. They're really basic, but if you actually make them yourself, like with the lemon, you put like a bit of lemon zest in there as well, and it's got a really strong flavor.
Yeah.
I remember they'd make my throat feel like a little bit sore, but I'd just keep eating them.
And,
We talked about the pain. The pain's good.
I was about to say, was that a bit of a tell at an early age where like you liked the pain, but it just hit the back of your throat?
Yeah. We
You
shouldn't.
wanted more.
weird. We don't need to talk about signs of problems to come in my childhood.
It's fine. It's fine.
That's for another.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. As behind this, speaking of a fast lair, we did have a fast lair in the end from Oreo. It was made after the Oracle did leave, and we're going for an all-in. It's going to be a Roach Queen Drop Lord based all-in here from Oreo.
Yeah, it could be that Oreo feels like he took a little bit too much damage in that first few minutes here. We do see Lemon as well. He's going into a Templar Archive, so it is possible that Oreo is going to have a window here, just because there's a few less Stalkers here than there would normally be, I think.
There are Blink isn't done, by the way. We force a recall. We catch out two of these Stalkers. Big overextension here by Lemon, and the drop lords, they sneak out across the map. The all-in is well underway, and Lemon, he doesn't know. We have one shield battery here to defend at the third base, no shield battery at the natural.
Yeah, the Queens do drop in between the bases. I really like this on this map as well because you have such a big open area here. Reminds me a little bit of Gressfam, where you have all this area that you can set up in between the bases, and the Protoss kind of has to build static defense on both bases here.
Yeah.
I mean, Lemon kind of went for neither.
Exactly. I mean, again, he had no idea what was coming his way. Lings, they bust into the natural. Queen's getting dropped into the main base and the main army. It looks like Blink is done. We can clean up at least all these Ravagers. A nice cleanup here from Lemon, but at the same time, he is losing a lot of workers here in the main.
Yeah, I'm not sure about splitting up the Queens like this. I mean, I suppose he was mostly just fighting Stalkers, but I don't think this is enough damage here for Oreo.
Yeah, if the Queens were with the main army, we could have sustained ourselves. We might have even broken through the main Stalker force, but because this is going to be cleaned up, we are killing a lot of workers, but again, Oreo is going to be losing every single Queen.
Yeah, all of those Queens that go down. 19 probes is good, but I don't think it's enough damage at all.
I mean, Lemon is still ahead. That's crazy, right? Like 19 workers go down, and Lemon, he has 59 probes to the 51 of Oreo. Oreo, this all-in was designed to kill, was designed to maybe kill a base at least, and we still have all our nexus. We have a fourth base.
Yeah, I think you probably need to at least kill the third with this, and it does feel like Oreo probably went for this because he took the damage earlier, so it's not the biggest shock that it didn't hit as hard as he might have liked, but behind this, very interesting, going for a Lurker Den, going for more Dropper Lords as well, potentially dropping Lair Tech Lurkers.
Yeah, I mean, Lunkers can be a good way to try to survive, try to hold on. At the same time, though, the Stalkers, they get across the map. Good trades here against the Lings. We have Oracles to support in case the Lings go first around, even throwing down stasis traps. And honestly, Lemon, all he has to do is contain. Like, pushing to the third base would be nice, but he's checking. He's looking for a fourth base. I mean, Lemon, he's up a base. He doesn't have to commit.
Yeah, he's just applying pressure here, getting rid of all of this creep, and the Zerg's in a horrible position. There's no creep at all outside of this third. There's no way that he's ever going to be able to take a fourth, and yeah, we're almost in GG territory here already, but these Lurkers are going to be the last attempt to get a follow-up all-in going.
I mean, that's 8 Lurkers, and there's a world here where we can take a good fight, especially considering that there's limited splash damage. As I say that, Storm is on the way. That will help out here for Lemon, but without that Storm, we could hold the line. We could try and stabilize here on these bases, or as you mentioned, go for another all-in, as there we go. Drop Lords are making their way towards that natural base once again.
Yeah, Oreo definitely has to attack with these Lurkers. I think he's going to be trying to set up the Lurkers in between the bases if he can, maybe get these extra Lurkers going for an attack here, but I mean, Lemon is able to take the fight on Oreo's side of the map, which is just not what Oreo wants at all. He wants to be on the other side of the map, getting these Lurkers in awkward positions.
And I mean, some Lurkers, they're getting into the natural, they're getting to the main base. Probes are going down. At the same time, Oreo tries to pounce on Lemon while he's not looking. Does force out that blink. We are picking up some of these Stalkers.
Yeah, these Stalkers actually in some pretty serious trouble. The Lair Tech Lurkers, unfortunately, not really going to be able to get on top of them, but at least Oreo's getting some momentum over on that side of the map and might be able to get these Lurkers into an awkward position.
Exactly. So as a Lurker in the natural base, at the same time, some of the Lurkers, they get caught out. We have detection, we have an Observer, and 2 Lurkers get sniped. The 3rd Lurker does survive, but there's some big losses here for Oreo, and looking at the Unisols tab here, he's down to 4 Lurkers.
Yeah, I think Lemon's done enough. He's killed enough of these lurkers coming out across the map where they're not going to be able to get into too punishing a position. With those last few ones going down, with the Storm as well, that is going to be it here for Oreo.
Yeah, Lemon, he just completely shuts this down. It was a last-ditch effort here by Oreo. I mean, good initiative to try to go for these lurkers. That was potentially a win condition he could have gone for, but alas, it's too little too late. He has been shut down. The all-in just needed to do more damage. It required to do more damage, and alas, Lemon, he's just running away with this.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've got the old man zealots here as well. Oh no, they do have charge. Okay, they're just putting it on. But yeah, there's only 2 lurkers here. GG's called. Lemon takes game 1.
GG, well played. Lemon able to survive, able to defend, and not even that, but even in the early game, had a really nice start, getting a lot of economic damage done early on. So very solid play here out of Lemon.
Yeah, very solid. Looked great in the early game as well. That was it was really scary with those first 2 adepts. I feel like they did a bit more damage than I normally see.
Yeah. A part of that could be because they get across the map a little bit faster because of the map as well, and it is like a double-edged sword. As we saw, right, Oreo, he was able to cancel the 3rd base, but he still did lose 7 drones and all those lings as well. Like, he was still sustaining a lot of damage and a lot of losses, so it just still wasn't quite enough to bounce back. And with that, Lemon has a lead in this series, and what's scary here is that this is a best of 3. One more win for Lemon, and he will advance on to the next round, and this is a single elimination bracket.
Yeah, I mean, the brackets for these have been really harsh. They're single elim, and on top of that, quite a few players got walkover in the first. So the difference between having a run where you have to win 2 sets to qualify or 3 sets to qualify, and depending on the players that you're coming up against, there's a lot of bracket luck involved, I think, with these qualifiers.
Oh yeah, exactly. A lot of luck, and I mean, you know, at the end of the day here, it is a competition. We have to break through some of these bigger names, and we'll see if we can force an ace match. I'm hoping for a back and forth, but spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have a player looking to claim this series. He's up 1-0. Una más. One more is all he needs. The Taiwanese Protoss player, it is Lemon.
And it's spawning in the top left-hand corner of the map. I can tell you from personal experience, tastes better when dunked in milk. This is CranKy's Oreo.
Do you like twist your Oreo? Do you like lick the inside? How do you have your Oreo?
I kind of like just melting it and then just eating it straight up.
You melt it.
So like you melt the inside, like kind of like when you do a Tim Tam slam.
Yeah.
Where you like dip it in something like warm so that the cream on the inside melts, and then you just eat the whole thing.
So you have it with like a hot beverage, like coffee or like tea or something. Or like a hot wine.
Yeah. Oh, I can't remember the last time I had an Oreo, so let's say yes.
Okay, fair enough. I was gonna say, because you can't pull a Tim Tam. You can't like drink through the Oreo, you know? It's like, it's a little bit too lean.
No. Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
True. Do you ever do any, like, when you have these really long casts, like when you're doing one of the ESL main events or something like that, and you have like a big solo cast, let's say that you're like starting at, I can't remember what you were casting before, where you were starting at like midnight and casting till 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. or something.
I mean, that's...
It was EPT, right? Where you were kind of like doing the Asia ones and then follow through to NA.
Yeah.
Oh, you're doing that today?
It'd be Oceania into Taiwan, Hong Kong, China, into EU. Into
Yeah.
NA.
Yeah, like that. Okay, so like that, if you have like a super long day like that and you're casting by yourself, do you have any like weird things that you do physically to keep yourself awake?
Physically?
Like, do you like stand up while you're casting, or like play with something on your desk or something?
100%. I like it's squats. Like in between matches, squats is, I don't have a lot of room in my room to like do like push-ups and stuff like that, so I do squats, or like I'd go into the other room and like walk around and stuff like that, you know, just to like keep the blood flowing, keep the blood pumping, you know.
Do you know what I mean if I say the Zach Fair squats? the guy from Final Fantasy VII. Like he does the squats where he like swings his arms up as he comes up. No.
I know who you're talking about. I know who Zach is. I know I know about Final Fantasy. I haven't seen him squat.
Yeah.
I don't.
He has this weird meme about like he wants to be like the strongest soldier ever.
Yeah.
So he's like doing these squats like all the time, but he does them really weird. And then I think Cloud learns how to do them as well.
Oh.
And then in Kingdom Hearts, they teach Sora how to do them as well. And Sora does them. And he like shows Hercules how to do them.
Wait, in which Kingdom Hearts? This would have been the newer one.
One, I think.
One? Okay. I don't remember this.
Hercules was in one, right?
Yeah, he was. He was in one, 100%. He was in all of them, I think. Yeah.
I remember because in one it was just like an arena battle, sort of.
Yeah.
The Hercules levels.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just like swing your arms when you do the squats, and they look really silly.
Oh no, yeah, I remember that.
I'm imagining you doing that.
Yeah, I didn't know that was the thing. I thought that was just a Kingdom Hearts thing. But yeah, okay.
It's like Zach's thing.
Yeah. I mean, I could do that. Do you want me to do that?
All right. Yes.
Okay. Hey, we have a game.
I'm trying to remember the weird stuff.
Go on.
Yeah, it's normal ZVP stuff.
Yeah,
I feel like the first 5 minutes of ZVP, you could just start from 5 minutes.
It's been standard, yeah, it's been the same.
I'm trying to remember the weird stuff I used to do when I was baking to keep myself awake. Because sometimes you get there at 2 a.m. and, I was like 16, 17. I wouldn't always sleep before my shifts because I was just dumb. Because you can get away with that. I remember one time, I think it was when I was baking, we just had like a bet. So we all put like a bit of money on the table, all of us. And we had to work from then on. You had to nominate a foot. So you're like, I'm going to be on my right foot. And you have to stay standing on just your right foot. And your left foot has to stay in the air. And whoever's like survives the longest on this shift without putting their other foot down gets the money.
That sounds like fun. That's great. Like you'd have to like hop around. And,
yeah, that's a good one.
Like use your upper body to like move around as well. Like that's it's good.
I remember it's probably not very PC, but one of the other bakers as well. He just got so bored at some point. He made up this character where he was like the baker of Baghdad, and he would just like do the entire day's shift of baking with one hand. So he'd be like pulling these like 200-degree hot like cast iron trays out of the oven and like flicking everything off at one hand and then throwing it up in the air and catching it one hand to put it away.
Well, that's when you know like you know what you're doing, right? When you can pull stuff like that off and like not completely mess up and like clatter everything on the ground, sort of thing, right? Like, yeah, he can cook, man.
Yeah,
he can cook.
Yeah, he was cooking. He was serving.
Meanwhile, we are getting into our game here. Oreo, he's going Link Hydra, by the way. He's cutting workers early on. I'm still a little bit on the fence, but this was, I believe, a very fast Hydra gen here from Oreo, and I think he's going for Link Hydra based all in. I think we're sending it.
Yeah, it does kind of look that way. He's only on 50 drones and doesn't look like he's going to be making any more. Isn't making a fourth either, so does look like that's going to be the way. And this could be really effective just because of the way that Lemon's playing. I'm not seeing extra oracles. Okay, now the extra shield batteries are coming down, so he knows something's up.
Yeah, there we go. He's aware that something is amiss. We have shield batteries on the way. Going to be 2 here at the third base. Is going to be 1 at the natural. There we go. Stasis trap's going to be on the way as well. But do we have enough to survive as Oreo is just sending everything across the map?
Yeah, it's still just Stalkers. I mean, often against this, I see Protoss players getting extra Adepts, getting extra Oracles as well. I feel like as much as Lemon knows something is coming, I don't think he knows what.
Yeah, like extra Oracles can do so well here, whether it's against Lings, whether it's Stasis Traps as well. We're risking a lot. We're going into Colossus production. Second Robo is on the way for double Colossus production as well. I mean, Colossi can work wonders, that is true, but it's going to still take quite some time to get our first and even second Colossi. And Oreo, he's still banking up this entire time. He is not droned.
Yeah, okay, Lemon just kind of coming out a little bit with these Stalkers, trying to get some information. I feel like Oreo does need to hit before these Colossus hit, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this is defended. I know Lemon, he does play in a region where he's probably been exposed to some Mio Micah versions of builds that are very much like this, so we're gonna be seeing if someone's cooked here before.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see if he has cooked, as here we go. Oreo going to be amassing his army. Is now soon to be pulling the trigger. The Colossus is out. The first one, at least second one, is on the horizon as well. But can we get a surround?
Oh, big surround, and we get Lings on top of the shield battery with a supercharge as well. This is an amazing engage here for Oreo.
Yeah, it does take down the shield battery, does deny the overcharge as well, but that Colossus is cooking. The Colossus is getting a lot of damage, does take a lot of hits, but will pull back here to the safety of the mineral line, and the Lings are going down.
Yeah, the Colossus is exposed. Good pullback from Oreo. He knows that it is very important that he doesn't lose any of these Hydras. It's okay to lose the Lings, but he can't attack again until he has that Ling buffer back up.
Yeah, exactly. Again, if you lose the Hydras, that's the end of the all-in. That's the end of the push, and that would be the end of the series. Oreo, he's playing on a knife's edge right now. He's once again diving on the Colossi as well. A bit of a late reaction out of Lemon, but the Colossi, they do pull away. Up.
Yeah, he has to get some of these Colossus. One Colossus goes down. Second Colossus still on full health. Third Colossus pops. It pops on the wrong side. It will be going down, so that's a lovely pick off for Oreo, but I think Lemon is maybe just holding on. It's going to come down to this fight.
Yeah, we're running out of Hydras. There's only a handful of them left. It was a good trade from Oreo, but remember, he's all in. Remember, he doesn't have a fourth base. No economy behind this either. Is luring the army out into the open, but does he have enough to punish his Colossus?
We have a second shield battery overcharge. Oreo is going to respect that. He's going to get out, and he does get out without losing any Hydras. That's very important, but he's forced to engage here as Lemon, just forcing the issue again and again, but this Colossus is exposed.
Colossus exposed. It does go down, but at the same time, we've lost our Lings, we've lost our buffer. The Stalkers, they are amassing as a good amount of Stalkers here. This is still a very close all-in. At least there are no Colossi. Bearing in mind, no Colossi in production either.
Oh, yeah, and these units are trapped here. This is trouble for Oreo. He's desperately trying to get these reinforcements coming across the map, but each wave of this is just getting weaker and weaker. It looks like Lemon might have done enough to hold on here.
Yeah, bearing in mind that Lemon, he hasn't lost any workers. He's maintained his 64 worker count this entire time, and we spoke about the Colossus production. There it is. We have 2 Colossi on the way. The longer this goes on, the better it's going to be here for Lemon. Oreo throws down a fourth base. Looks like he's thinking about transitioning. Still not droning, still massing up a Ling Hydra-based army, but he may have missed his window.
Yeah, I really like these slow Zealots as well, just providing a little bit of extra buffer. They do force those Hydras to micro just a bit more, and yeah, this looks like Lemon, pretty equal numbers of units. The second Colossus pops out now, and that's probably going to be enough.
Yeah, exactly. We spoke about it, how Oreo, he looks dominant against Terran, but here against Protoss, it's sometimes a different story here. Oreo, 2 all-ins back-to-back in game 1 and game number 2. Different variations, true, but alas, Lemon just seems a little bit too on point, a little bit too strong here. He is forcing this all the way back.
Yeah, this was looking really good, but Lemon, he just did such a good job of every time the Hydras got pushed back, just forcing them to engage over and over again before Oreo was ready.
Exactly, and as a result, the Hydra count has been weakened, has been getting lower and lower as well. We can see Oreo still trying to amass an army, but we're soon going to be reinforcing with a second Colossus, and this army is looking terrifying here for Lemon.
Yeah, this army looks really strong. We've got Charge on the way as well, with a pretty good amount of Zealots. And Lemon, on top of this, he doesn't really have to engage. He's just kind of forcing the issue, forcing units out of the Zerg, and making sure that he's keeping that pressure on, but he's not really in any rush with this.
Yeah, exactly. He can patiently take down, deny the fourth base, and back off from there. He doesn't have to commit. Base is going to be going down. Without Bailings, Lemon, he's borderline, he can aim it. Like, at this point, he can just push his way forward here. Lings, they're racing back home. Oreo trying to set up a surround, trying to set up a concave. He could maybe try to get on top of these Colossi here. The perfect engage is maybe possible, but it's still looking so daunting.
Yeah, big surround coming out from Oreo here. Some of his units are trapped, but he will be closing in from every side. There's no sentries to protect these Colossus, but there's just too many units here for the Protoss. Big offensive blink comes out from these Stalkers, and that will be everything getting cleaned up here. GG is called.
GG, well played. Lemon, he survives the all-in 2 games in a row. We'll take the series 2-0, advancing on to a qualifying match.
Alright, there's too much action there, but now I can finally explain the someone's cooked here meme. I don't know if you've seen it before.
I have not.
So, basically how the someone cooked here meme goes is there's a guy, there's girly at a party, they're kind of having a chat, they're getting to know each other a little bit, and this question comes up that, you know, if you hang out in the north side of Melbourne, you're going to hear this question a lot. The girl asks the guy, you know, what time were you born?
Okay.
Have you been asked before what time were you born?
Never, never.
Okay, no one's cooked there. But in the north side of Melbourne, that's where they cook. So, the answer to that question is your sun star sign, your moon sign, and your rising.
What?
And if you know the answer to that question off the top of your head, and you don't have to text your mom to ask what time you were born, it's because someone has cooked here.
What? Why is this specifically a north side of Melbourne meme? Is that like where the like hipsters are, or is that like the rich side of Melbourne? Like what is
Yeah,
that?
it is.
Okay, there we go.
Where the hipsters are, yeah.
There you go. There you go.
So basically, Oreo rocks up. He's got his hydras. He's got his links. And he's like, hey, Lemon, what time were you born? And then Lemon has like 2 Colossus ready. And he goes, someone's cooked here. It was Mia.
I see.
Mia's the ex-girlfriend.
I see. So like, yeah. Lemon, he's cooked before. You know, he knows what those lemon drops taste like. The lemon drop cookies.
He's well trained.
Yeah. He's had them inside him before. He's eaten Oreos in the past.
Maybe. I know Oreo does get bullied by the Protosses in this region from time to time.
From time to time, it does happen. And yeah, with that, GG well played. Congratulations to Lemon as he does advance on into a qualifying match, and we will be following him.
How did he go yesterday? I know he played yesterday.
I believe Lemon went down to Nashin, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. That's a bit of an upset.
Yeah, I was really surprised. Like Lemon, he was popping off. He was doing really well, and we were actually casting him last night. And yeah, he went up against Nashin and he got taken out. It was very impressive.
Huh? There you go. TVP things, am I right?
Yeah. True. Mate, you nerf the Widowmine. It doesn't even matter, Poppy. It doesn't even matter. Smooch.
No, you're only nerfing Reddit, nothing else.
Feels bad, man. Feels bad. But yes, we are going to be following him into the next round. I would ask you, Asher, to follow me into the Asia region, the Asia server, because we are going to be playing on the Taiwanese server instead. Would also ask you to open up your firewalls just in case. And yeah, up next is going to be Lemon versus the Filipino Zerg player, Dash.
Yes. I turned off all my firewalls before. I remembered. I didn't remember to upgrade. I didn't remember to update my client, but I did remember to turn all the firewalls off.
Let's go. Also, my apologies. I think I called Dash a Zerg player. He's
Protoss.
He's Protoss. Yeah, he's Protoss. Protoss.
Yeah.
I wish he would Zerg. It's gonna be PvP. PvP.
Oh yeah. Yeah, sweet. Do we want to have a look at some of the rest of the bracket?
Go for it, mate. Go for it.
Okay. We have Kingslayer versus Zur, because when you're an Australian Terran, you're just condemned to a hell of Chinese Protosses forever.
Oh, he's Terran. Kingslayer's Terran.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
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 What's good?
He's
I
pretty
think
good.
that's Craig's best matchup.
He's like a young up and comer. I remember casting him qualify for the closed qualifier last year, I want to say. And yeah, Kingslayer, he's a very fast player as well. But I believe he has been prone to play mech and TVT in the past. So that's a possibility for Kingslayer.
That's a shame. Well, Azure does as well, so that could be a long series.
That's a shame.
Apart from that, we have Naxin again against Shinobu, who I know is a Korean, not Korean, sorry, a Zerg player who streams on the Korean ladder sometimes. We have But Always gets a 2-1 over Jaedong Oz, and he'll be facing the winner of Leo and Yu. And then right at the bottom of the bracket, I don't recognize either of these players. Moku and Misaki, both Chinese players.
Yeah. Moku, he is the WTL observer. He's the observer.
Oh wow, cool. And Masaki getting the 2-0 over Demi.
Ooh.
I believe he's a cheesy Zerg, from what I've heard.
Okay. Yeah, Misaki, he takes down Demi, so a pretty big win there. Pretty big win there for Misaki. Hold on, I'm just trying to sort out there we go, some UI stuff. But yeah, so we have Moku versus Misaki in a ZVZ, but always he's waiting for Leo Rusher or Yu. That's gonna be another PvP. We have our series and yeah, that upper series as well. Azure, honestly, I think he has a really good chance. I think he has a really nice opportunity to actually have a deep run there. So I wish Krug the best of luck. Wish him the best.
Yeah, it's a really good bracket for him. Basically all TBTs, which is definitely his strongest matchup. He's good at kind of those more slow-paced strategic matchups where he can get into the late game.
Oh yeah, definitely. So we'll see how well he can perform there. Again, our players are just conducting their vetoes as we speak, so we're just getting ready here for the rest of our series. Looks like they're just picking their maps as well. Nothing too crazy here. We have yet to see all the new maps, so we haven't seen Post Youth. Have you heard about Post Youth?
Yeah. I saw. So that was I think that was the map that I saw Day 9 casting a Clem vs MaxPax game on, and I saw MaxPax blink all of his stalkers into the natural, which you can only get to through a mineral wall. And then Clem had to walk all the way through his main to get to it, and I turned the stream off.
Let's go. Yeah, the new maps, they're interesting to say the least. They are interesting. So oh boy, we'll see how they do perform here, at least in these qualifiers, and of course in the main event as well. I do look forward to it. Again, for those that are unaware, these are qualifiers for the regionals leading into DreamHack Dallas, leading into EPT Spring. So big things are up ahead, big things to look forward to, as we are here to determine our representatives from the Asia region. And this is a qualifying match. That means, Asher, this is the best of 5.
Yes, let's go. Lots of new maps. Did you just hit him with the big things coming soon? The small band from your town that hasn't put an album out yet? Facebook post? Big things coming soon?
Yeah. The MySpace blog has been made.
Yes, exactly. Or the brand new Instagram.
There you go.
Big things coming soon. And then 5 years later, no big things.
Smoke. Did you use MySpace back in the day? Is that?
No. I think I just missed MySpace. Well, I thought we were the same age, but I don't know. I don't think I ever had MySpace.
No, yeah, I missed MySpace as well. Did you have Bieber?
Okay. I had MSN.
Yeah.
I used like MSN Messenger.
No, yeah. For me, there
I
was
still remember the noises.
when you used MSN, were you a part of the trend where your name would be like lyrics? You'd have like the
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, you have like the clef or whatever.
It's like your favorite song or whatever.
Yeah. Those are the days.
All right, we'll come back to that. Spawning here in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, in the red, it is the Taiwanese Protoss. It is Lemon.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player from land of the Philippines. It is Dash. I can't believe like MSN died off. Like for me, it died off when like Facebook kicked off, right? And like everyone just switched over to Facebook, like seamlessly as well. Like it wasn't like anyone forced it. It's just people just stopped using MSN.
Yeah, which is kind of weird as well, because I don't remember ever using Facebook Messenger the same way that we used MSN.
Yeah.
It might be because we had phones at that point. I don't know. I was talking to Ryan about this recently, how weird it was when everyone had MSN. It was before you had phones as well. So basically, you would come home from school and get on the computer, and you'd have these people that you like only talk to on MSN.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I 100% agree, because like you'd use Facebook to like message some people, sure, but as you said, like it was nowhere near like to the amount that you would use MSN, right? Like MSN was purely to talk to people, and Facebook was less so that, and more like posting, right? Like your statuses and then like Farmville and all that stuff.
I remember. Yeah, I looked back at Facebook from like, so I think Facebook started like 2011.
Yeah.
But I looked back at my Facebook from like 2012, 2013, stuff like that, and you would just, maybe it was the age I was as well, but it would just be, you would just post on people's walls to talk to them. And
Yeah,
it's really weird.
Yeah. Posting their walls, you'd like
it'd be like you came back from the pokes. I remember the poke was.
Yeah.
You'd like come back from a party, and the next day you'd be like, hope you had fun at the party, or that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But like on their wall.
Yeah.
It's so strange.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy because I feel like Discord is a lot more similar to what MSN was, right? So like it feels like, to me at least, that we kind of circled back around. Obviously Discord is like groups, but like it feels more similar to MSN than what Facebook was.
Yeah, Discord's like a combination of like MSN and then like those old school forums as well.
yeah, sure.
It's got the forum vibe sometimes, where you have like this really niche forum for a game that you play, where it's like you see all the same people every day.
Smooch.
And it's got the same thing as Discord, where it's like there's only 3 people who are actually posting most of the time, and then the rest of the like 50 people are just lurking and watching.
Yeah, they're lunking, Bobby. They're lunking. Yeah, let's go. Did you ever use like Ventrilo?
Alright, PvP
like,
Master.
Yeah,
I use TeamSpeak a little bit, but I wasn't that much of a PC gamer, to be honest.
Yeah, the problem is that like those big voice channels, I feel like were like for MMOs, right? Like for like raiding and like PvP and stuff like that.
Yeah. Use them for. I remember I had friends that were really into COD scrims, like COD 4. And they would use TeamSpeak or Ventrilo before TeamSpeak.
Yeah.
TeamSpeak was pretty good. It was a good program.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Alright. It's one base all in from Dash, by the way. It's gonna be 4-game Blink. So we're gonna be going for a 4-game Blink here from Dash. Meanwhile, Lemon back at home. He recognized something is amiss, something is going wrong. He did confirm, I believe, that the second pylon was missing, and he's going for his robo. We have a shield battery already set up. 2 shield batteries, actually about to be a 3rd shield battery as well. So Lemon, he knows something is up, and he's getting ready.
Yeah, I haven't really seen this before. 4-game Blink coming up against a not fast expand from the other Protoss. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen this actually.
And here we go. We can 2-shot Stalkers. 1 Stalker, 2 Stalkers going to be going down, but we have the Overcharge. We have the Immortal coming out, and Lemon is going to be able to hold on. He did end up spending a couple of force fields. Now, what's important about this position here, if we do get high ground vision, Dash can blink into the main, and in the main base, there are no shield batteries, but despite that, Dash is just trying to brute force his way in.
Yeah, jumps right on top of the Immortal. Looks like the Immortal didn't have the shields. Unfortunately, the Stalker shots aren't quite synced up, so those batteries are getting a little bit more healing than they probably should. He's going to go for the pylon, but a little bit of indecision there, and the Immortal gets a lot of free shots off.
Yeah, and just like that, we're down to 5 Stalkers. We have less Stalkers than that of Lemon here. We have Immortals. We still have plenty of shield batteries, plenty of energy to work with as well. Dash does not have high ground vision. He cannot bypass this army to go into the main base, and he's running out of steam.
Yeah, not looking too good here for our Protoss from the Philippines. He's trying to get that little bit of extra damage, but it looks like Lemon feeling confident enough to come out and meet him there and will take down the first game.
GG there. Again, a solid defense, solid reaction there from Lemon to recognize what was going on, was able to get into his Immortals, plenty of shield batteries, plenty of energy, solid defense. GG.
Yeah, GG. Pretty solid stuff coming out from Lemon. He had those 3 batteries prepared, so he was all over it. But yeah, interesting. I can't say I've seen 4-gate Blink, go up against not a gate expand. Because Lemon did go for like a 2-gate opener, right?
Yeah, it was a 2-gate opener, and you're not wrong, right? Typically when we see these big committed all-ins, like the Blink-based all-in, it's usually to punish a greedy opener that you would otherwise go for, and that wasn't the case here. So an interesting choice here out of Dash, maybe hoping he can catch Lemon off guard and catch him unawares, but I mean, clearly that wasn't the case. Lemon is a little bit too good for that.
Yeah, for sure. Did you watch any good movies on the plane?
I watched the Barbie movie for the first time.
Oh, nice. I kind of forgot about that. The whole Barbie Oppenheimer thing was so big while it was happening, and then just immediately faded away. And I haven't thought about either of those movies for more than like a minute since.
Yeah. Like I still haven't seen Oppenheimer. Like it was on the plane. I was ready to watch it, but I didn't get around to it. So yeah,
Didn't have time.
didn't have time. I watched what I watched. I watched the Barbie movie. I watched. Oh god, what else did they have? You know what I haven't seen, but I watched is as a kid I never really watched Indiana Jones. I never watched it. Like I've seen like clips, but I've never seen the movies, and they had like all 4 movies, so I just went on like an Indiana Jones marathon.
Oh, you didn't watch the 4th one, did you?
I didn't watch the recent one though. With Shia LaBeouf.
Okay, good.
Didn't watch that one.
Yeah, that movie. Down here in the bottom right-hand corner of Site Delta, we have the Taiwanese Protoss in the red. This is Lemon.
And sporting in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Filipino Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing, I believe, Berserker Esports. It is Dash. Gonna have to double check that.
Okay.
What else did I see? That's what I watch.
Yeah, no, so those are really good, those first few Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
They've aged a bit weirdly. There's some stuff in there that's like low-key racist, but apart from that, they're pretty good.
I mean, the one based in India is interesting.
It's questionable.
Yeah, with what they're doing with that. But yeah, the first one is like I really enjoyed the first one. I think like the first 2 I really did enjoy. And I wasn't expecting it to be so much of like it just felt like a fun adventure movie, you know? Like
yeah.
Like there wasn't anything.
There's so many like classic moments.
Yeah.
Like when the boulder's rolling after him, or like when he like picks up the statue and like replaces it with the wave.
Yeah. Like more than anything, it was just fun. It was just a fun like adventure movie. And I was like, oh, like I haven't seen a movie like this in a while. Like it was just good vibes.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's good when a movie doesn't take itself too seriously.
Not really at all. Not at all. But yeah. What else did I see? I watched the Lego movie. As well.
Hey, which one? The Everything is Awesome one?
Yes, yeah, the first one. Yeah.
Wait, you haven't seen that?
I just rewatched it.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I feel like that's one of the ones that it's hard to avoid.
Yeah. I haven't seen the second one though. And to be fair, the first time I saw the first Lego movie was like 2 years ago. I hadn't seen it.
Yeah. Is the second one the Batman one? The Lego Batman one?
No, there's one after the Batman.
Oh, the one with Batman?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The Batman one was good. That was actually really funny.
Yeah.
I was not expecting it to be that funny.
It was good. It was very meta. There's like a lot of jokes, but like it was very fun as a result as well. It's good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And what else did I see?
Let's have a quick look at this game.
Okay. Gate expand.
Gate expand. Stargate completely blocking everything off, so it looks like anticipating another all-in from Dash, and I think it is going to be an all-in again.
I mean, yeah. Okay, so talking about this game a little bit here, it's the same build. It's the same exact build here out of Dash, going for 4-gate blink on 1 base. But as you mentioned, this time Lemon is going for a much more economic opener, so now he's a little bit more vulnerable here to this build. In saying that though, he's going for a safety void ray in the follow-up. Basically, Lemon is doing his best max impression here in game 2.
Oh, good amount of damage on that Oracle. That's going to be pretty nice. Means he doesn't have to leave as many Stalkers back at home.
Oh yeah, exactly. The Stalkers, they are going to be moving out. We do have a shield battery in the main base. The Oracle is going to be poised to dive back in though. Shouldn't really get much done, but it's just keeping an eye on things here, and is going to be going for the stasis trap. Up.
Oh, he is looking okay. Nice split there. Loses a second probe. Not the best, but definitely a whole lot better than not looking at all.
Yeah, a lot better there as we're getting into a second pylon to keep everything powered. Void Rays are amassing. Robo is on the way. I do appreciate that we have a second shield battery in the main base, just in case we do dive into the main as well. So Lemon is prepared for that scenario, prepared for that kind of situation, as he is preparing here for the eventual all-in.
Yeah, really well prepared again is Lemon. He's got those 2 batteries, got a third one on the way as well. Really good damage coming down on this Stargate though.
Yeah, the Stargate taking a lot of hits, and it may go down before the Void Ray comes out. Overcharges pop. Barely going to be keeping it alive, and it looks like the Void Ray is barely going to come out.
That was so close, but that second Stargate coming second Void Ray coming out pretty big. Nice little probe pull there as well. Looks like Lemon's well practiced in this situation.
Yeah, exactly. Just solid defense so far. Remember, he can afford to lose workers, he can afford to pull the boys because he does have the economic advantage here over his opponent. So again, just acceptable losses here for Lemon. The gateway is taking a lot of hits though in the gateway. It looks like it's going to be getting picked up.
Yeah, Gateway and Stargate go down, but not the end of the world here. He does have an Immortal coming in. I feel like, yeah, we have to get these Void Rays, but the Zealots on the ground, they are doing some serious work.
Yeah, the Immortal arrives as well. The Void Rays go down. The Immortal's going to get targeted as well, but we're taking a lot of hits. We're taking a lot of damage here as a Stalker count. It's getting almost completely reset.
Yeah, just not enough DPS to take out that Immortal. That tiny difference, meaning that Immortal can get off so many more shots, and that might just be it here for Dash, but he was so close.
He was so close. That Immortal's on 2 HP, 1 extra Stalker, 1 extra shot, and that would have been it. That would have been a dead Immortal, and maybe we could have broken him then and there. No, that's okay. Stasis Trap goes off for a moment. I thought they were stacked up. Only getting a handful of probes, so it could have been so much worse. Regardless, we're going for another Stasis, and hopefully Dash does notice. Oh, he doesn't see!
Oh, devastating.
And just like that, no economy, no mining in the
no
main.
mineral income.
Yeah. Smooth.
No mineral income. Lemon feeling confident enough to come out with those Immortals, and it looks like just going to be Dash taking the time here to digest the loss, maybe think about what he wants to do in the next game.
It's got to be 4-game link, right?
Could be. I think it's kind of interesting he's doing that. I don't know what his PvP normally is like, but I know, at least for Serg and Terran, he's typically a very defensive player.
Yeah, I agree. Like, that typically we do go for some of these longer games. So interesting that Dash has chosen to go for this kind of play style. And I'm hoping that he's going to deviate. I'm hoping that we do try something a little bit different here, but we'll see because he's up against the wall. Remember, this is a best of 5. First to 3 wins. Lemon only needs 1 more win on the board.
Yeah, it's a rough spot, but I do hope Dash is here going to really back himself to go for the macro game.
Yeah, I hope so as well. I mean, I'm hoping we can get it back and forth just because these are some of the older maps. Game 4 is going to be on a Ghost River. Game 5 is going to be on Crimson Court. I would love to embrace some of these newer maps, but the pressure is now on Dash.
Alrighty. Okay, so Barbie, first 3 Indiana Jones, Lego movie.
Yes.
That sounds like about a full flight.
I mean, you know, I had a return flight as well.
Oh, no way, I forgot you did weird stuff. Alright, well, let's do the intros first. In the bottom right-hand corner here, on a bit of a roll right now, will he taste defeat? Or will he just fly through this qualifier? It is Lemon.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Filipino Protoss player, the blue Protoss, down in this series. He needs to fight back here and now in game 3. He needs your support in the chat. He needs your energy. It is Dash.
Dash. Yeah, because you did like some crazy stopover nonsense that made your trip over 30 hours, right?
I think it was like a 31 or 32 hour flight to get to Poland.
This.
Yeah.
Do you sleep on planes as well? I know most people can get a decent amount of sleep, but I can't sleep at all when I fly.
I got a couple of hours. I think I would get like 4 hours sleep or something like that, but nothing major. Yeah.
I think that's what I got as well. Like 4 hours total over a flight. It's terrible.
It's fine. You can watch movies. It's fine, man. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, well, there's movies, and then they also had Tetris on the plane that I was on. So I remember at some point, my clearest memory of when I was flying was it was like 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. or whatever, like I don't know what you call it, like plane time. You know how they kind of like they give you like the time of your destination or something like that on the clocks. So it's like 5 or 6 a.m. and everyone else is asleep, and I'm just like grinding Tetris for hours.
Oh my god!
In some kind of, but it's like it's not even. It doesn't feel like I'm grinding Tetris for hours because you know when you're on a plane, it kind of feels like you're in like a place where time doesn't really exist. Like you're in some kind of weird limbo.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like, I don't know. It was like playing Tetris in this weird purgatory. It was almost like dreaming. It was very strange.
Let's go. I've tried playing some of the games. I mean, the games are very good on flights. Like they're usually like a little bit laggy and they're like a little bit scuffed. But I've seen people like play chess
scuffed,
and stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I feel like chess would get me through a pretty long flight. As okay, we see Dash is gonna be making some centuries, so we're gonna get that macro game we asked for.
Yo, let's go. 2 gate openers from both players. Expansions are on the way, and for the first time this series, we can sink our teeth into something a little bit stronger, a little bit deeper here. We're expanding. It's crazy.
All right, I have to think of more flight stuff. Did they have Dune? Did you watch Dune?
Oh, I haven't. You know, I haven't seen Dune yet. I've not seen Dune.
Ooh, you should do that. You should go see it at IMAX before it finishes. I mean, I'm sure it'll be at IMAX for a really long time.
No, like, I haven't seen the
It's
first
worth
one.
doing.
I haven't seen.
I haven't seen the first one.
I don't watch movies now.
Okay.
I don't watch them. I need to.
Yeah, those are really good. It might be worth doing just to make sure you can catch the second one at the cinema.
Yeah. I need to get around to it. There's something that I've never.
Because they're very like. Oh, I just mean that they're just like very. A lot of the sound stuff is very kind of like doof, doof, like big booming stuff and giant wide shots. Like it just works. It works better at the cinema.
For sure. I can imagine for a lot of those kind of movies. No, but yeah, like for the past couple of years, I haven't like seen anything in cinemas. Hey, I haven't. Look, whenever I go outside, I get sick. Okay, I'm not going outside. It's not happening. Okay?
True. It's not really worth it just for a movie, is it?
Exactly. But I got around to watching. What's it called? The Game of Thrones spin-off. Because I never.
Oh, House of Dragons.
That's it, House of Dragons. Yeah. Because I remember, like, it was House of Dragons and like the Lord of the Rings spin-off that came out at the same time, and
yes,
there weren't the most amazing things said about them. I mean, especially the Lord of the Rings ones. I feel like, yeah. So like, I never bothered to watch them.
I had pretty bad things. Yeah. I had pretty bad things about House of Dragons as well. I know there's like a bit of a return of the incest themes, which I'm sure everyone loves.
Oh yeah, I mean that's Game of Thrones. I mean, is it Game of Thrones without without those themes? Is it?
Yeah.
Did
you watched that show?
Yeah, I watched like 3/4 of it. Just because like I never got around to watching it, so I'm like, yeah, just sit through it.
Yeah.
That wasn't too bad.
3/4 is. I feel like 3/4 of a show is like the most damning review you can give, because it's not like you gave up halfway or you gave up like a quarter in, where it's like maybe I'll watch it later. It's like you got most of it and it just wasn't worth finishing.
Well, I didn't finish it because the flight ended. Like, you know, I had to get off the plane, right? Like I couldn't finish it.
Okay.
There you go.
It's like, can I just stay? Can I just chill with you guys for a bit?
But yeah, it was interesting. There were definitely things that I didn't enjoy about it. It just keeps jumping around. I didn't like how much it jumped around, like time-wise. So like don't know, I feel like you miss a lot, and it's a little bit less cohesive, and you spend less time with the characters, so you enjoy them less as well. Where it's like, what are you doing right now? Like, why? I don't know, it felt rushed. It felt very rushed as a show, which is weird.
The characters definitely seemed a lot less endearing. Did you watch The Witcher? I feel like a lot of people had the same complaint with The Witcher, that it jumped around too much.
Yeah. I only watched the first season. And it did jump around a lot.
Yeah, The Witcher. Yeah, the most recent season was so confusing because they had the whole season is time jumps. Like, I think the first episode is where it catches back up to by the episode 5 or 6. And then
okay, that's not
7 and 8 are like new on the timeline, right? So like 1 is like what you're going to see later, and then it slowly works its way back up.
Yeah.
But then one of the episodes, as it's working its way back up, the same thing happens a few times, and you're not really sure which of the ones is like the real one. It's like what could have happened, and then what could have happened, and then what actually happened. But that's happening during all the time skips, and it's just, at some point, your brain's just like, I'm just gonna watch it without trying to work out what's happening.
Yeah. That's a bit of a shame. But it's also on the list of things to eventually watch. And speaking of watching, you know, we're embracing this PvP. It's been pretty passive. We did see Lemon being a little bit active earlier, trying to break in towards the natural, but again, he was just kind of testing the waters. We're getting into 3 bases, we're getting into 4 bases, we're taking up into charge, into +1. This PvP is still very much so getting underway. As I say that, I'm gonna have to eat my words, because Lemon did invest into this prism, and he is pushing out. His goal here should be to deny the base.
Yeah, Lemon here, he's up on supply, he's also up on upgrades, but the advantage that Dash has is he has these immortals. He's already lost 1, the 3rd one very low, that's 3 immortals going down. Those immortals were so important for this defense.
Exactly, we do have 1 immortal left here as we pull all the way back towards that natural base. Zelt's keeping the rest of the army busy. We do have another big warp, and the immortal has gone down, and Lemon, he's breaking through.
Yeah, all 4 immortals have gone down here. That was so important for the defense here. Dash was really relying on them, but Lemon did such a great job of focusing them down, and I just don't think there's going to be enough units left over.
Yeah, exactly. Boys are being pulled. Overcharge has run out. We have another wave of Zelts behind this, and it looks like Lemon is just snowballing out of control at this point. He has too much. Those immortals, as you mentioned, were crucial in the defense, and with the death of those immortals, that's going to be the death of a Dash.
GG, and that will be Lemon qualifying, but a much more competitive game there coming out from Dash.
GG, exactly. It was a little bit more back and forth, and again, if only Dash had a little bit more time, had a little bit more foresight. That's the biggest thing, is that Dash did not see the army moving out across the map. He was not in position, he was not mentally, physically prepared for what was to come, and he was caught a little bit with his pants down. A very strong timing there from Lemon, and with that, GG, Lemon qualifies for the Asia Closed Qualifier.
GG indeed. Condolences to Dash as well, but great job getting that far along. And yeah, let's have a little bit of a look-see at the bracket here. It looks like, all right, a few more results coming through. Kingslayer takes a 2-0 over Azure and will be going on to face Naxxon.
Ooh, Kingslayer, yeah, he's up against Nash in there in another TVT. So the Terran versus Terran does continue. Lemon, I believe, is our second player to qualify. Scrolling down, Misaki 3-0'd Moku. So very big win there. Congratulations to Misaki. But always, meanwhile, is mid-series against Leo Rusher as well. And yeah, it looks like we just kind of need to try to catch some of these matches. We need to try and figure out where we are, and yeah, we might be able to catch the tail end of some of these series.
Yeah, so Misaki and Lemon are going to be our first 2 qualifying players, and our remaining are going to be between Kingslayer and Naxxon, and Leo, Russia, and Butt Always. So got the PvP and the TVT going on here.
There we go. No Zerg players left, Smoj, but it's how our region is. Except for me and Micah, you know, he's always there waving that Zerg flag in one of the later rounds. But yeah. And
I think Rex qualified yesterday, right?
True. Rex did qualify as well. He did make it through. Meanwhile, would you like to head on over to the land of the Americas, as it looks like we have a fresh best of 5.
Sweet.
Okay, so I was just slipping into some DMs, and Leah Rusher versus But Always is about to begin.
Oh, sweet. All right, more PvP.
Yeah,
That means you're in charge.
let's go. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be a much more dynamic PvP. I do think that Leah Rusher and But Always are a little bit closer in skill here, so I am excited to embrace some more PvP action. You know, we may definitely see some all-ins, 100%, but I'm hoping for more back and forth.
Yeah, Leo Russia definitely can be an aggressive player, but I feel like PvP always flips people's playstyles on their heads a little bit. You kind of have to be able to do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, definitely. And the patch did change the way the PvP works a little bit as well. For those that are maybe unfamiliar, the Sentry was buffed in two different ways. I believe the Sentry is no longer a light unit, so it doesn't take bonus damage from oracles and from adepts. Likewise, I believe the Sentry does bonus damage to shields. So specifically in PvP, it's able to do a little bit more. It's able to do a little bit more damage.
Yeah, I saw. So Euthermal's been making these YouTube shorts where he just kind of does like unit tester things, especially with the new patch. And one of the ones that I saw was Sentries versus Archons. And so a fight that used to be 5 Archons versus a bunch of Sentries and like 1 Archon died, now the Sentries win instead of like 1 out of the 5 Archons dying. So the difference is massive.
Yeah, again, that bonus damage to shields is huge, and because it's only bonus to shields, it only does impact PvP specifically. And for those who are curious, I'm pretty sure the big reasoning as to why this change was implemented is to incentivize sentry-based openers when you open up 2 gate. And with the prioritization or with more sentry-based openers, that does make you safer overall, does allow you to scout as well, and it does mean that PvP is a little bit less volatile than it used to be.
Yeah. I don't really get it. I can't really think of why the shield difference. Because I suppose the opening that has been the most popular in PvP is the 2 Adepts and 2 Oracles. But yeah, I guess that makes Sentries more sturdy versus.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I get the light change.
Yeah, definitely. It also means, especially with like adept openers, like usually you're like going in and diving to snipe workers or sniping sentries as well, and now sentries are less vulnerable, right? So they can survive. That's a little bit easier, and that means that you can still scout your opponents, that you're safer overall. So yeah, it's just a nice change to PvP. I do like it overall, I think. Just because even though I love seeing PvP be really dynamic and be really chaotic, at the same time, I also understand that a lot of pros players don't like that. Like, they don't like playing PvP for that reason. So it helps out a little bit. Helps stabilize it.
Yeah, PvP seems like a really stressful matchup. If you're like laddering and you're a much higher MMR player or something like that, it does seem like a really weird matchup.
100%. So because of that, you know, PvP is going to be a little bit more safe in general, a little bit more yeah, just a little bit safer, or like just peace of mind here when it comes to sentry-based openers, thankfully, and we'll see how that impacts this PvP as our players are still just conducting their vetoes, they're still figuring things out, sorting out their servers as well.
I think we're going to be server jumping.
Oh, let's go. Let's go. But yeah, when
you have like a laptop at home that you can watch TV shows on, so you can like curl up in bed when you watch your TV shows.
I do have a laptop. I don't curl up in bed to watch shows, but maybe I should.
Be cozy.
I usually just watch them on my phone. I just have Netflix on my
on your phone.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
What do you mean?
It's actually crazy.
What do you mean? Just
Can you read the subtitles? They're so small.
I can hear what they're saying.
No, I feel like I can't take a show seriously if it's on a phone. Like, phone is for YouTube. But like, if you want to watch a show, you have to upgrade to laptop. It's like You know when you're like making like an important purchase, like buying plane tickets or something, you have to do it on your laptop. You can't do it on your phone.
Okay.
I don't know why.
So where does an iPad lie in that? Where's that?
I don't know. I've never had an iPad. I don't really know what you do with iPads. I just see iPad kids playing Temple Run. That's what I think of.
True. Yeah, I've never found a reason to get an iPad. Like, yeah, I don't know, but like, I guess you can. I guess if you don't want a laptop, right? Like, if you don't need a laptop, but you still want what it gives you, you can get an iPad? Question mark. I guess.
I don't know. I've only ever seen it used for like when you would want to give a kid a laptop, but like an iPad's like a lot more kid friendly than a laptop.
But it's so much more expensive.
You're not just like giving them free access to internet and stuff. I guess so.
Am I crazy? Like, I feel like when I think of an iPad and a laptop, the iPad's more. I mean, unless you're going for like a high-end laptop, I guess. But yeah,
I don't know. I feel like can you? If you compare it to like a MacBook, the iPad's definitely cheaper.
I know. I don't feel comfortable giving a kid an iPad. It's. They're just gonna drop it.
I feel like the opposite. Like, yeah, okay, that's probably true.
Yeah.
But like, if you give a kid like a laptop, like, I don't know, like you have no idea what they're gonna do with it.
Like
I'm just imagining like the most malware-infected, virus-ridden, just destroyed laptop of all time. Like at least you can't do that to an iPad.
I guess. I don't know. Like when I think of it, giving a kid an iPad, I think of like giving like Asher a phone. Like we've spoken about this before, and you've talked about how like like I've never cracked my phone. I've never done anything like that. But you're like, mate, I've gone through like 20 phones. Like you like step on it, you like suplex the phone onto the like concrete and stuff like that. I'm like, mate, you're crazy. And I feel like
okay. So what I did this time. I recently got a new phone and I haven't broken it yet because this time I bought like the smallest iPhone I could get. I got like an SE because the screen's really small, which means it's harder to break it. Because when you have the big ones with the really wide screens, you don't have to drop them as hard. And I got a case straight away. I immediately got like a nice solid plastic clear case. I have dropped it so many times. I don't know how. I have no idea what the fuck to do with it. Because like I try to be careful with it. It's pretty new. And I think I've probably dropped it like maybe like 10 to 15 times since I bought it, like at the start of the year.
How? What are you doing?
And bad drops too, like face down onto bathroom tiles and stuff.
Oh my god, you're crazy. You're an animal.
Yeah.
You're an actual animal. Oh my god.
Yeah. But it's not broken yet. I don't know. I think it's because it's like one of the things I fiddle with. But we're good so far.
Okay, I have dropped my phone, but I've only ever dropped it on carpet. Like maybe there's like I think there's something in my brain that just lets me know that I can be careless with my phone if there's carpet. So I have dropped it there, but like never on anything else. Like you're an animal.
I seem to only drop it on hard ground, like either bathroom tiles or like concrete outside when getting out of cars or something.
Oh my god.
One that I've done a bunch of times, which I don't do anymore because I've got the knockoff AirPods now. But I used to do this thing where like I'd drop the phone and then I'd try to catch it with the earphone jack because I'd have like the earphones in, and you try to like, I'm holding the earphone wire but not the phone, so I try to catch it by the earphones. And it would just rip out of the jack, and the phone would just like, from the momentum of ripping out on the jack, would fall flat like on its face.
What would make you think that like, oh, I can save it by yanking on the phone jack? Like that's not gonna, or the earphones.
I try to do it smoothly, but yeah, nah. And then I got good sometimes at like catching it on my foot to try to like slow down the fall.
You know what I hate? I hate. So you just kick the phone.
No. Like, I don't kick it. I like it's like. Well, yeah. Sometimes if I fuck it up, I just kick it across the room. But like you do like the soccer first touch. Anyway, top left of the map here. Let me intro. Top left of the map here, the red Protoss. This is the Taiwanese Protoss, but always.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Singaporean Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Team Hyper 1. It is Leo Russian. I get what you're saying. You're like,
it's weird.
Uh-huh.
Well, when people like throw, if you throw rubbish into a bin from across the room, you're like, Kobe, R.I.P. But if you catch something on your foot, like first touch, you don't say, Messi. Why is that?
I don't think Messi has reached that level though, right? Has he?
I think so. Like Messi and Ronaldo should be at that level of famous.
They should be. Do you think it has to be?
I think it just doesn't have the same ring to it.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, nah. Messi has a ring. You can say Messi. You can say Messi, right? Like Ronaldo, sure. Like
Yeah,
like
we could make it happen.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. I think you just need an initiative. You need like an initiative of like Zoomers to start saying it, and it'll catch on.
I heard the funniest version of that Kobe joke recently. Yeah, we'll get Eber on it. I had someone saying to this other person, one of them was like, oh, like, I was having such a bad time, I was bawling my eyes out. The other guy's, Kobe.
Oh my god.
So good.
You're all Adams. You're all Adams. Oh my god. Oh, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. Mate. Now that you have a new phone, the worst thing about new phones, I'm assuming this is the case with your phone, is I hate that there aren't earphone jacks anymore. It's actually the worst because I just got AirPods. Fun fact, I got AirPods at the airport just because I needed them and then I would like to listen to music and stuff. But like I have reached an issue where like I'm listening to like whatever and then it runs out of battery and I just have to I just have to put I just can't listen to anything anymore. It just runs out of battery and I'm just screwed.
That's crazy. Mine take ages to run out of battery. Mine were like $40. Like I got the cheapest one I could get from JB Hi-Fi and they have heaps of battery.
Like how long?
I think I've recharged them once since I bought them. Like
oh my god,
50 hours or something.
Jesus. Yeah. Like mine lasts like 6 hours.
Oh, no, that's crazy. You should just get the ones I got. I don't know what the brand were, but they last forever.
Yeah, because like because I had some previous Bluetooth earphones from like years ago, and now I basically have to rotate. I have to rotate between them, like 6-hour intervals, basically. Like if I want to.
Yeah. Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, I feel like he maybe just got bad ones. Because mine seemed pretty good. Because that annoyed me as well. I was putting off getting AirPods. I really liked getting like the $10 Kmart ones with the audio jack or with the lightning.
Yeah.
And my phone now does still have the lightning port, so I can use those if I want. But I decided to get the AirPods. I find them annoying though. So I run with them and they start to fall out of my ear. And then I go to adjust them and it pauses the music. It's actually so annoying.
Yeah. For me, I don't know if your AirPods are like this, but like if you take one AirPod off, it like detects you have it off, so like it just stops the audio, and you have to have them both.
No, mine's split. You can put one back in the case, and the other one just works on its own.
No, yeah, but yeah, so you have to put it in the case for it to happen.
No,
I just want to take it off.
But if you touch one, it pauses it.
Okay.
Mine are just really sensitive. Like if you go anywhere near it, it just pauses the music. It's so annoying.
Fair enough.
As a big attack coming out here from Butt always does snipe one of these stalkers here. Oh, and Leo Russia tries to get a bit extra scouting with that stalker, loses that one too. He could be in some serious trouble now.
He really could. We only have one shield battery here. Overcharge is soon to be available. The sentries are going to be going down. The Immortal taking quite a punch here, and we're out of energy. Where's the Overcharge? We don't have enough energy for it.
The Sentry DPS, insane. This is a really interesting build. I wonder if this is a new build that's kind of become possible now. Maybe it's easier to be more aggressive with these 3 Sentry openings.
Yeah, the Sentries just add so much more DPS than they used to. Behind this, we have Glaives on the way, by the way, so there's a second layer to this push from Bud always. At the same time, we dive on top of the Prism. Prism does go down. The Overcharge gets the power. The Artosis pylon.
Just out of range. Yeah, Leo had a second pylon coming at the perfect time, but it looks like it's a single hex out of range. That is devastating.
Yeah, just slightly misplaced there. We do not until the Immortal. The Immortal's going to be going down, but there's just so much left over here. And but always he breaks through the defensive line, cleans up the army, takes down every single worker here at the Natural. And Leah Rusher, he has nothing left.
Yeah, he's trying to hold on, but I mean behind this as well. But always he's going to that next step. He's preparing a follow-up all-in, throwing down 4 more gateways, getting glaives as well. So it's going to be a glaives Immortal all-in as a follow-up. So even if Leah Rusher did somehow hold on, did somehow stay in this game, there's no way he's holding the next attack.
There is no way here as we're just slowly stepping forward here into the main base. We have 2 Stalkers left. Blink is done. We're able to blink on back towards that main base. We can maybe hold with some reinforcements. Remember, the War Prism was sniped, and but always he's running out of units.
He is running out of units, but I mean, Leo at the same time is running out of probes, and he might be expecting this to be some kind of one base all-in. Maybe that's why he's staying in the game here, but it isn't. But always has got plenty of probes at the Natural.
Yeah, plenty of saturation here on 2 bases. 40 workers to the 16 of Leah Rusher, and here come the reinforcements. The army's going to be passing by each other. The Prism looking a bit exposed. We might be able to come across it once again. The Prism is going to get picked up.
Yeah, Prism goes down. Not really going to matter too much, but I mean, at least something's going the way of Leo.
At least he catches the Warp Prism there, as yeah, we get across the map. Adepts, they just waddle into the main base. We do force a warp in here. We have a couple of workers, a couple of Stalkers. Boys are being pulled, but in towards Glaive Adepts. Bear that in mind. The workers getting annihilated.
Yeah. Worker pull into Glaive Adepts. Not exactly what you want to be seeing now that the new Cyclones are gone. I think that's probably the next worst thing you could pull your probes into. And GG is called.
GG, well played. But always is going to take a lead in this series. Again, a very chaotic game there. Was able to take it in the end. Again, Leah Rusher unfortunately just did not have eyes on this ahead of time, and was woefully underprepared for the push. And as you mentioned, a really interesting push as well with the new Sentry.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like you can do these weird plays where you're opening up in more of a standard macro way, and normally you wouldn't have a push at that timing, but now you do. So seeing some new stuff. It's cool.
Oh, yeah. Definitely some new stuff there as we're hopping servers back over to the Americas. It looks like we're going to be alternating Taiwan to Singapore, Taiwan and Singapore over and over again. So yeah, we are going to be hopping over, and hopefully it doesn't slow us down too much, but I'm hoping we can bounce back here. This does mean that here in Game 2, Leah Rusher will have the server advantage.
Yeah, so we are just going to be jumping between those two. Hopefully, yeah, Leo can get one back on the board, and we can have not another 3-0. It'd be nice to have a bit more of a competitive best of 5 here, and I know Leo can definitely do that.
Yeah, let's go.
I don't want to see.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can see from here what brand my earphones are, but yeah, they were just like the cheapest ones from JB. They were only $40.
Yeah, I just got the official AirPods, but I got like Gen 1 AirPods. So.
Oh no! Wait, the official AirPods only last 6 hours? That's crazy.
I'm pretty sure like the newer AirPods last a lot longer, but yeah, the ones I have.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that can be the problem now. I've noticed that especially lately, like with new tech. Because tech moves so fast now. Getting like a really cheap, crappy version of something's better than getting something that's like 2-3 years old. Alright, looks like we're just taking a little bit of time to host up the map. Oh no. I think neither of them can remember the map.
I mean, I don't remember either. I'll be honest. I don't know.
I didn't even look. Yeah.
These AirPods were expensive. Like like they were like $200 or something.
Yeah.
AirPods
Yeah, I never went original Apple. Yeah. So I remember as well, I wanted to get the Apple Lightning earphones, but I just always got the cheap knockoff ones.
Yeah.
Oh well.
But I mean, I'm making do. I just alternate. I just switch back and forth. It's very true. What else?
Yeah, they're very weird though. I find they have problems as well. I swear this happened. I was running past someone and I think they must have been pairing at the same time and we like paired to each other because I like cut out and then cut back in.
Oh no.
I didn't hear anything that was going on theirs, but that would have been kind of funny. I don't know. I feel like they're very temperamental.
Mm-hmm.
And they talk to you. That was the weirdest part.
They talk to you?
My one has like, yeah. So I didn't realize for ages, if I hold mine down for like 2 seconds, there's a low latency mode and a music mode. But I didn't know this for ages. So I would just be like putting my earphones on and trying to like pause them or trying to change like the song. And it'd be like low latency mode.
I do need to look at the instructions because I know there's like I'm sure there's like a way to like change the track or adjust volume and stuff, and I just depending on how you tap your AirPods, like I don't know how that's done.
I don't know if they're all the same. So my one, if you double tap, it goes like previous next track, and if you triple tap, it changes the volume. But the problem is that you look like such a tool when you're doing it, because you're like. It looks like you're like tapping in a code to do some like Men in Black like secret agent thing. It's really weird. I don't like doing it when people are watching. I usually like wait till I get past someone.
You're like feeling self-conscious by your AirPods.
Yeah.
Fair.
Because it looks like you're trying to like operate a teleporter or something. That's so weird.
I would feel that way if I had like an Apple Watch or something, right? Like where you're like.
Or if you're outside.
Or if you're outside and you're like, you know, trying to like call in Scotty so we can beam you up or something like with your Apple Watch. Like
exactly. Yeah. That's exactly what it looks like. It looks like you're like, yeah, trying to like tap your walkie-talkie or something.
No, I'm not quite there yet.
And you're just like, I don't leave my house.
True. That's how you fix it. You just don't go outside. There you go.
But then you just use the headphones. You don't need the earphones.
But I don't have an audio jack.
What are you doing right now?
Oh, I mean, yeah, but that's on my PC though.
Okay.
What if I want to listen to music in the kitchen?
On the toilet, yeah.
Exactly.
As spawning in the bottom left hand. Alright, I'm gonna come back to that. I don't like that. In the bottom left-hand corner of the map, representing Hyper One, this is Singaporean Brothers, Leo Russia.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Taiwanese Protoss player, the blue Protoss, representing himself. It is But Always.
Okay. So, I have this weird thing where when I was a kid, I used to always have cereal for breakfast and I'd like eat it in the kitchen because we had like a countertop table. And I'd listen to music and I'd have both my earphones in. And then one time my mom told me that I was like making this noise every time I ate, but I just didn't know because I would always have both earphones in. And so it turned out that like every time I took a mouthful, it was kind of like a moan, honestly. Like, I would take a mouthful and then be like, like after every mouthful, I was just going,
You're like, I really like this cereal, mate. Let me tell you.
I really do like cereal.
Oh, God.
But I had no idea that I did it. And now I'm so self-conscious that I can't eat food with 2 earphones in. I have to take one earphone off or like one ear of the headphone off. Even if I'm just like at home by myself, I have to take one side off so I can hear myself, just in case I'm like making some weird noise while I'm eating. I'll be like, yum.
The trauma that was induced at an early age. You're like, now you just can't eat while listening to music. It's just burned into you. It
was, yeah. So now, if I'm eating or if I'm cooking, even if I'm just at home by myself, I'll switch to speaker. But for some reason, it's the same for using the bathroom as well.
Oh my God. Who's gonna listen to you?
I could.
What do you mean?
I can't, but like I also have the idea of like, if the music is pretty loud, it'd be like echoing in the bathroom.
Uh-huh.
I don't know why I don't like that.
Good. I mean, you're making other noises
I don't know,
in the
like to be able to
bathroom,
hear.
I don't know why you're
Exactly.
worried about that.
I want to know how much noise I'm making.
Oh my god. So one base all in, by the way. Let's go, Bobby. Let's go as we are sliding into game number 2.
Maybe a 3-gate robo.
Yeah, we're going to have 3 gates in the main base. We have a proxy robo across the map. Quickly checking the vision here of a Leo Rusher. He did confirm that the second pylon is missing. He does have a probe out on the map and being active. He knows that something is wrong, but he's yet to confirm whether it's a committed or a fake proxy pylon as the army is about to arrive. Leo Rusher, he does have a safety shield battery in the main base, though.
Yeah, it looks like Leo's got a decent idea of what's going on. He comes out, does put some pressure on, gets that first stalker, but trades it out for one of his own stalkers. The shield battery is nicely placed here, and he's got his own prism. I really like that. It's going to help him micro here against the stalkers of But Always.
Yeah, as you said, just a really solid setup. It's going to be 3 gates for Leo Rusher, so he's able to keep up with the production of his opponent. As you mentioned, he does have that war prism, so he can reinforce. He can also juggle his units. He can get into immortal production. The bigger the first immortal is already on the way. Honestly, a really solid setup here from Leo Rusher, and I'm not so certain if But Always can really break this position.
Yeah, this could be a good opportunity for Leo to get back with that 1-1. I love this Adept here as well. He's just scouting, making sure that he keeps an eye on everything that's going on here. It's just the one Immortal so far from But Always, and looks like Leo, he wants to at least break that shield or see if he can get any units. Good micro so far, but the shield battery is spent.
Yeah, Leo Rusher does juggle back. As you mentioned, shield battery is out of energy. We are going to be able to take down the pylon. We depower the shield battery at least, but behind this, no backup shield batteries here for Leo Rusher, but he does have the concave. He's able to force back the army.
Yeah, one Adept going to be going down here. How is But Always going to try to make his way through here? The Immortal up the front. Looks like Leo's going to be using that shield just to get a bit of extra DPS, and now both Immortals are bruised off.
Both Immortals are bruised. Shield battery is going to be going down. Again, I'm a little bit surprised that Leo Rusher hasn't thrown down a backup shield battery. It's a bit of a bold move here for him not to throw it down. Oh, he's supply blocked as well. That pylon is brutal. 3 pylons, 4 pylons on the way.
Yeah, the second Immortal is here as well. This is a pretty key moment here for But Always. Feels like Leo is falling behind when it comes to the army supply.
Yeah, again, this supply block is brutal. He is unable to make that second Immortal, but at the same time, we're diving on top of the army. Does have a decent force to begin with as well. Going to be able to force this back once again. Oh, doesn't quite get another Stalker. Oh, that's one.
Yeah, doesn't get the Stalker. Does get a Sentry there. He just saves his gateway, but he has to fight now. Almost loses the Immortal. That was so close, and the Immortals are But Always looking very healthy. That's going to be scary for Leo here, who is not looking too safe here.
Oh, yeah, not looking too safe whatsoever. That Immortal's so low. Still no second Immortal here from Leo Rusher because of the supply block. That's a shade into the main base. Probes are going down, and that is creating an opening here as we finally take down the gateway. We're trying to force our way into the main base. Leo Rusher is down to 1 working gateway.
Yeah, losing those 2 gateways at the front, pretty devastating. Does give him more surface area to work with at the ramp, so he should be able to keep this out. But yeah, But Always, he is mixing up his attack now, sending in 4 Adepts.
Yeah, that's a continue to threaten those shades. We force our way up the ramp. Cybercore is under threat. Overcharge is going to be popped, is within range here, and Leo Rusher, he can take a fight. Or he can try to, but that's 4 Immortals.
Yeah, shield battery overcharge has been committed. Almost loses that Immortal. Every single Immortal of But Always is still alive. All 4 of them, and they are so healthy. They're going to be DPSing straight through that shield battery overcharge, and it looks like But Always has done it.
Yeah, 4 Immortals, just far too much firepower. Finally, the second Immortal of Leo Rusher has arrived, but it may be too little too late. We do get us around. We are trading well here, but Leo Rusher is down to 3 probes. His economy, it's non-existent.
Yeah, and great micro from But Always as well, keeping all of those Immortals alive.
Yeah, exactly. GG gets called with that, But Always takes a 2-0 lead in the series.
GG. That was a very close game. It looks like Leo had enough there to hold on, but just a few small positioning wins there for But Always, taking out the pylon, taking out the gateway, and like you said, that supply block was quite brutal.
Yeah, it was so brutal there. That delayed the second Immortal for so long, despite the fact that we had the resources, we had the minerals and gas for it, but we could not spend our money, and potentially that was game then and there, and but always able to pull off that one base all in despite the fact that Leo Rusher looked like he was so prepared for it, wasn't able to defend.
Yeah, I do think Leo was pretty well prepared. It was just some small differences in the execution. It looks like for a moment there, it looks like he had everything he needed, but it just wasn't quite enough anyway.
Was not quite enough, and now with that, we're getting into game number 3. As a reminder, it's a best of 5, but always needs one more. Onomas, one more win here to claim his spot in the closed qualifier. Leo Rusher has to fight back here and now. Also, they don't know what map to play on. They're animals, man. They're animals.
Pen and paper.
True.
Do any of these gamers know how to use a pen and paper?
Shaking my head. But yeah, I'm the opposite when it comes to like listening to music or like listening to like a podcast or like a show or something. I feel like I always have to have something going. Like, I don't know, like I feel like I'm wasting time if I'm not like listening to something while I'm like cooking or being active in the house, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I do listen to music while I'm cooking. I just don't use headphones.
You just need to like
put it on
listen to
speaker.
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand.
What if I have like ambient cooking noises? What if I'm cooking really well and I just let one out?
Is that a bad thing though? Like, right? Like, you know, there are people that like sing while they're cooking and stuff like that, you know, and they like get in the zone.
Yeah, I do sing while I'm cooking, but on the speaker, so I can hear myself.
Okay.
Anyway, bottom right hand corner here. In the red. The Protoss here up 2-0, 1 win away from qualification into the closed qualifiers. This is but always.
And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have as a bottom, we have the blue Protoss player from the land of Singapore representing Team Hyper 1. Down in the series, he has to fight back here and now to force an extended series. Can he bring it back? It is Leo Rusher.
Okay, so the other thing as well is I feel like you need the ASMR experience of cooking too. Like you need like the sizzle of like the meat on the pan. You need the like chopping sound. Like you need the full audio of the chopping sound when you're like chopping stuff up.
You need the immersion of the environment of the kitchen, right? To like really, you know, to cook.
You need to let the food speak to you. Or moan to you.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
That's how you become a true chef.
I'm just thinking, I just picture you cooking just cooking in your kitchen and moaning every now and then, just
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just an apron as well.
Exactly. Oh, we're aping each other. Let's
Nothing
go.
else. Just an apron.
Yeah,
Alright, looks like
I've never worn an apron before.
Oh, you just completely nude. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. Right? Sometimes, you know, you have like the oil like sparkling like out of the pan, but you gotta feel it on you. You know, you gotta feel alive while you're cooking.
Yeah, you're not really cooking properly if you don't.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the same as being able to hear the sounds. You have to like feel the warmth of the oil.
You have to feel the heat of the pan. You oil yourself.
You have to suffer a bit.
Yeah.
Like all good art requires a little bit of suffering.
Exactly.
I feel like there's actually an Anthony Bourdain quote that's like along the same lines.
It all comes full circle here, right? You need just that pain. You need to play the StarCraft to, you know, just enjoy life.
Alright, so this looks like pretty rough build it matchup for Leo Rusher. He's going for, I think, just a vanilla 3-gate, and he's coming up against a 3-gate Robo again.
Yeah, it's going to be 3-game Robo. It's basically the same build from
found it.
Always 2 games in a row. He does come across the proxy. He's fully aware of what's going on. Does have the proxy out of the map. He has a comparable production to work with, and he's going for a 4th gateway back at home.
Okay, I like this. So he is just going to try to outmatch him with Stalkers, and I think it's really going to come down to these first few engagements. The Immortals are going to be doing a lot better than the Stalkers until the Stalkers get into a critical mass, and then I believe the Mass Stalker is going to be better.
Exactly. So basically, Leo Rusher has to retain these Stalkers, has to build them up over time, has to make sure he doesn't bleed out too many.
Great catch.
Flashing, big catch here. 1 Stalker goes down.
Oh, and he sets off the Immortal Shield as well. That is huge. This is a great start for Leo.
Beautiful start here for Leo Rusher. Shield batteries are finishing up now. There is no Nexus, there is no overcharge available here on the low ground, but we have shield batteries nonetheless. We do see Bud always backing off, going for the War Prism, which means he can try to bypass the wall, could try to slip into the main.
Yeah, Leo's going to have to be careful that he positions his Stalkers the right way, that he does deny that. The Sentry as well is really scary here. If those Immortals get into the main and the Sentry force fields that ramp, the Immortal can depower the, take out one of the pylons in the main.
Exactly, the Prison Bolt! As the Prison does overextend, does get sniped here, big pick off there by Leo Rusher, going for the Immortal as well. He has momentum, but he's bleeding out a little bit too much.
Ooh. Yeah, this might have been an overextension. He might have just got a little bit too excited about taking down the Prism, split his fire, and lost a few shots trying to go for the Immortal, and maybe has just snatched defeat from the jaws of victory, but it's still looking like a decent position for him.
Yeah, Leo Rusher just maybe a little bit too cavalier. They're a little bit too premature to pull the trigger. Stalkers are going down, and it looks like Bud always he's breaking through.
Yeah, just a little bit of miscontrol there, getting a little bit too excited trying to get that Immortal, and loses so many of these Stalkers. That's so unfortunate.
Yeah, it really is. It was a good start for Leo Rusher, but maybe just misjudging the situation or respecting the army enough there, being lured into a false sense of security, and with that, the natural base has been broken. The production is being camped. We do have a gateway in the main base. We have that proxy gateway across the map. Adepts are being warped in to harass, but with breaking in, the main base is compromised.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing at home to deal with this. Beautiful force fields as well, just locking that in, and Bud always is going to be our next qualifying player.
GG. Congratulations here to Bud always. He will take the 3-0. He qualifies for the closed qualifier. My condolences to Leo Rusher. Again, he's the best player in all of Singapore. He's an amazing player in his own right, but this PvP was very chaotic. Unlike the previous series where we saw, at least in Game 3, between Dash and Lemon, where they had more of a macro game, here, very chaotic, very intense series, and we never got into a third base, we never got into a 3-base economy. It was just like 1 base or 2 base aggression, and yeah, Leo Rusher just was unable to keep up with Bud always.
Yep, exactly. It was a little bit rough in the end there, but yeah, Bud always, he's a bit of a master of that 3-gate robo. I know that's a signature build of his in PvP, and he played it very well.
Oh, he did. He was actually doing it yesterday as well. Like, I think we casted a series between Bud always, and I think it was Bud always and Lemon. Let me just double check. No, it wasn't Lemon. Who was it? It was another Protoss player. But we casted Bud always, and he did the same build every game. Every single game he went for the 3-gauge robo 1-base all in, and didn't work out, but you know, he was committed.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit of a classic play for him. I feel like I've seen him do it like every series I see him play PvP.
Yeah. It was Bud always versus Jim. That's it. Bud always versus Jim.
Okay, yeah.
But with that,
Jim's very good as well.
Yeah, he's, you know, one of the best Protoss in China. It's pretty damn good. Not as good as Firefly, but As with that, I believe we are wrapping up our qualifier here, because we have our qualified players wrapping up. I mentioned before that Misaki qualified over Moku. We have Bud always, of course, qualifying over Leo Rusher. Lemon qualified over Dash, and Kingslayer and Nashin are still mid-series in a TBT, but they've been going at it for quite some time, and it's unlikely that we can catch them. It's possible that they may even be in their final game, so we won't be able to. I don't think we'll be able to sink our teeth into that.
You'll just leave them to it. They're just like, what the Terrans want to do in private, that's none of our business.
I feel
They can.
yeah. I feel like I'm interrupting. Like I feel like a third wheel if I like try to slip in, like there.
Yeah, it's probably it's for the best if we don't know what they're up to. Terrans, things get a bit weird when you put two Terrans in a room and close the door behind them.
I don't want to see. I don't. I feel like I'm gonna get scarred. I want to leave it up to my imagination.
It's not for the faint of heart. Yeah.
So that TBT is underway, and yeah, with that, we're basically kind of wrapping up here. If you maybe noticed that there were some players from this region that you didn't see in the qualifiers, and you're maybe concerned that they're not going to be a part of the season, as a reminder, there were 8 players invited into the closed qualifier. So these players are qualifying to face off against them. So that it's going to be quite a stacked bracket there in that closed qualifier.
Yeah, that'll be definitely something to look forward to. You get to see a few more Zergs.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, hey Zerg.
Well, I mean, in the closed qualifier, just to quickly go over it, we have Haas, Maxed, SCV as the Protoss players that were invited. We have Oriana and XY as the Terrans, and we have Gogo Joey and Silky as the Zergs.
There you go. You got more Zergs than Terrans.
It was the same amount. What do you mean?
Actually, no, that's true. It's going to be 4 after the qualifier. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Whatever.
The propaganda. You're just creating your own narrative.
Look, it says 4 and 3 on my screen.
There you go. There you go. So, yeah, the closed qualifier are going to be tomorrow. So, in less than 24 hours, we're going to be live on this channel with the closed qualifiers to determine who makes it into the main regional here for the Asia region of EPT Spring. So, the StarCraft does continue. We're merely halfway through.
I know on top of that as well, because T-Bull has given up his spot, we're going to be seeing a 5th player go through as well, and I believe it's based on EPT standings.
True. So, between Dash, Leah Rusher, Moku, and the loser of Kingslayer and Nashin, depending on who has more EPT points, they will be invited into the closed qualifier as well. Unless you want to do some math, I'm not so certain who that's going to be, actually.
I don't want to do some math, so we'll find out when we find out.
We'll find. You know what? We'll find out when we find out. I like it. True.
Make Sinistro do the math.
Exactly. Yeah, Sinistro is going to be on it. But so yeah, with that, we're gonna be done for now. If you are unsatiated, if you want some more StarCraft action, I'm gonna be live here in 2 hours time with the EPT Spring Europe qualifier, the second Open European qualifier. And before we do end the night, we have confirmation that Kingslayer did take down Nashin 3-0. Kingslayer qualifies for the closed qualifier.
Powerful. Looks like, yeah, most of these qualifying players just going through without even dropping maps. So it's going to be fierce competition in that closed qualifier.
There we go. Fierce competition indeed. So GG, congratulations to all of our qualified players here tonight. And as a reminder, we have the European qualifier in 2 hours, and we have the Americas. We have the Americas qualifier in like 8 hours time from here as well, to determine who also makes it through in the other regions.
Does that mean you're gonna eat now, or are you gonna nap now?
I only have 2 hours, mate. I don't know if I can nap for an hour. Maybe I can.
Are you not on the 20-minute nap train?
20 minutes?
Have you not heard about this? Okay, this is bam, Slack facts for you.
Okay.
Around 20 minutes is where you start to fall into stage 3 sleep, which is like the first dipping into deep sleep. So basically your sleep works in 90-minute cycles, and the first 20 minutes is light sleep, and then the next like 60 minutes is like heavy sleep, and then the last 10 minutes is where you're like having your REM and you're like dreaming and stuff like that. So if you only nap for 20 minutes, you don't fall into deep sleep, so you don't get like drowsy or anything. You just get like a little bit of a nap, but without feeling drowsy.
Okay, okay. I think the problem with that is if I'm gonna wake up, I need to set an alarm, but that means I have to also predetermine when I'm going to fall asleep, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be lying down, but
So
I'm not
basically,
gonna... Yeah, yeah.
I just put 20 minutes, and like if you sleep, you sleep. Doesn't really matter.
Oh,
You just
okay.
don't think about it.
Okay.
But yeah. So like the nap times are 20 minutes or 90 minutes.
I could sleep for 90 minutes. I could try.
Yeah. Because otherwise you have that thing where like you wake up and you just don't even know what planet you're on, or like what day it is, or what time it is, or like whether the sun still exists, or whether everything was just like a weird dream up until this point.
Okay, okay. Fair enough, fair enough. Well, I might try to get a bit of a nap here because, again, the European qualifier is in 2 hours. So if you want to tune into some more StarCraft, then mark your calendars. We're going to be live. I believe I'm going to be joined by Yaku. Yaku of the Zaku is going to be joining me for the European qualifier. So we'll have a co-caster there at least. And I'll do my best to stay awake and try to cast the Americas qualifier after that as well. Fun fact, I actually missed out on the Americas qualifier today. This morning, because I was just coughing my lungs out, and I just couldn't do it. I was dying, Poppy. I was dying. So yeah. But
yeah, fair call. I mean, if you feel rough again after AE,
yeah,
have some sleep. It'll be covered.
I'll do my best, Poppy. I'll do my best. But yeah, thank you so much, Asher, for joining me today. It's been a very long time since we've casted together. Maybe we can cast together again. I didn't get to ask my question. The entire time I was gonna ask, what have you been up to? Have you been playing much StarCraft recently? Like, what's been going on?
No. I haven't played StarCraft for like 2 or 3 months, I think. I think I'm done.
Oh.
But it's still fun to watch them cast sometimes.
Okay, fair enough. What have you been playing?
I've been not well. I started uni at the start of March, so I haven't been playing much of anything. I've been really busy. But I played a bit of. Have you heard of Palia?
I've not.
It's kind of like Stardew, but like an MMO. So it's like one of these games where it's like you get your own little house and you get your farm, and then you go out into like the more open world area where you can do all your like Animal Crossing stuff, where you make friends with the villagers and like you play with other people and you can hunt and all this kind of stuff.
Okay.
And then you come back and you're like adding furniture and dressing your house up and doing all your farming and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool.
Fair enough. Fair enough. You started uni. What's going on? What are you studying?
Yeah.
What's happening? I missed that. I had no idea.
Health science. Yeah, I think I decided 2 weeks out from when it started to do it. It's very impulsive.
Health what?
Health science.
Health science. Ooh. That is very different to what you're currently doing as your profession. Right?
Yeah.
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 But it's hopefully going to get me towards doing psychology stuff.
Okay, okay. So that's a pretty big career change, I feel, compared to what you're doing now. Are you just done? Did you just want, like, a change?
I never wanted to do software dev long term.
Okay, okay. Fair enough, fair enough.
But it was a go to lockdown job. It was actually so good for that.
Yeah. Never go outside.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now it's time to touch grass.
I wish you the best. You're a brave man. Brave. Brave. But I wish you the best in your studies. Do you know how long the course is? Are you like fast tracking yourself and like going like on a like more daily basis, or like what's happening?
No, so I'm doing it part-time because I'm still working, but so if you do it full-time, it's an 8-month course. Because I'm doing it part-time, it's going to be anywhere between 12 and 16 months.
Okay.
But it's pretty convenient. Like I'm studying just down the road, so it's like a 15-minute walk to get to uni.
Okay. Nice. Sounds good.
Been good.
Does it feel weird going back to uni, like back to studying?
It's weird because last time I studied, I was 18,
Yeah.
and now that I'm like a lot older than that, and everyone else is 18,
Uh
it's yeah, you forget that like
huh.
to me it doesn't feel like that much time has passed, but
Uh-huh.
then I'm like, these 18-year-olds are like basically school kids that are
Uh-huh.
still like calling the teacher sir
Uh-huh.
and having to be reminded to do their work as if it's homework. And I'm kind of like, I didn't even realize, but I'm like rocking up to it with like a workforce mindset,
Yeah.
where it's just kind of like, oh, I just need to do this and this and this. Cool.
Yeah.
Like it's just so much easier than it was when I was 18.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. It's gonna. I was gonna say that I wonder if it's gonna be weird, like interacting with like Zoomers, but at the same time, because like I guess because of
I'm a
the
Zoomer.
nature of because of the nature of like online stuff, right? Like, you know, you already interact with like younger people anyway. Like whether it's like, you know, like I don't know, like Oreo for example, or Migs and stuff like that. Like you already, yeah, you're young at heart. It's not as jarring, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're already like right on the cusp, and I feel like if you're like terminally online, you're basically a Zoomer anyway. So
True.
it's been fine in that way, but it's also been weird. And literally, my story that I keep coming back to is we had the icebreakers in the first week, and everyone's talking about what their hobbies are, and half of these people just like didn't have hobbies because they've just finished VCE.
Uh-huh.
Just like it's so weird.
Uh-huh. Fair, fair. But, you know, wish you the best. Wish you the best in your studies. Again, doesn't sound like it's going to be for too long.
Thank
You know, for a year, maybe a year and a half. Wish you the best.
Yeah.
And, yeah, maybe we can cast again sometime.
Yes.
And maybe even talk about StarCraft
Maybe
a little
after.
bit.
No, I refuse.
Let's go. Okay, well, with that, I'm going to be heading off. Asher, when stream? What's happening? When's the next Palia stream? Palia
Never.
stream even.
I'm definitely not streaming till at least June or July if I do.
Fair enough. Well, if people want to tune in to some Asher action, !Asher in the chat, AsherBro in the chat, even you can get a link to his social media. Doesn't stream almost ever, but you know what? One day he's gonna stream, and you want to be following him when he does. You know, you want to be there for the Rufus cam, because that's really the only reason why you should tune in. Rufus.
Yes. You can see the old. I think I still have the old show matches of the Australian off racing players up
Let's go.
on my Twitch. So that's still there, and those are really fun.
Yeah.
If you ever get really bored. And then yeah, my Twitter still has nothing on it except occasionally getting angry about J.K. Rowling. So that's that.
I'm telling you, need to just post pictures of Rufus. Just post pics.
I already do that on Instagram.
Do it on Twitter as well.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Anyway, since you actually stream, let's shout out your stream.
Oh, I haven't streamed in years, Pappy, in years, but !! Light in the chat. Oh my god, Ash is all over it. I do plan on streaming eventually. I'm still a little bit under the weather, and I'm just waiting to clear myself up. I have yet to ladder on the new patch. I want to smudge, Pappy. I want to experience the new maps and cry and just be depressed about it, but feel good at the same time because we like the pain. So that's you can experience that there over on my channel. Otherwise, here on the CranKy Ducklings, you know, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord, all things CranKy Ducklings, as we're live here on a daily basis. I mentioned before that we have been a little bit lighter on the cast recently. We've still been trying to cast on a daily basis, but we've been missing some broadcasts here and there, like ESL Americas and ESL Europe and other events, just because we've still been trying to recover. But we're almost there. We're almost at 100%. And once we are, non-stop StarCraft here on the CranKy Ducklings. We got you.
Let's go. Touch that shock button all day, every day.
Yeah, don't touch the grass. Touch the StarCraft.
Let's go. All right. Cool.
With that, thanks so much for watching. We're going to be heading off here, and we'll see you guys in a couple of hours for some more StarCraft action. Until then, hasta luego. Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.